member FDIC.
When you or someone you know has been seriously injured and you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will fight for the justice you deserve in court to get the very best possible outcome. Trust the compassionate and hardworking attorneys at Liberty Law Group when you need an attorney in Nebraska or Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Nutrition Authority invites you to enjoy internet-crushing prices in the back-to-school blowout. We already offer better than internet pricing, but from Monday, August 24th through Saturday, August 29th, we're slashing them even deeper. The back-to-school blowout on Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they're committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perchmerch.com.
Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings this summer, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. This summer's cream cheese flavor is pickle. Pair it with a blueberry cobbler iced latte, and don't forget their Berry Breeze dirty soda. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Is there anything worse than paying for something that's done half-assed? You buy something, you want it to work, especially when it comes to your internet. When you're trying to stream a movie, work from home, or shop online, half-assed internet doesn't get it done. At Allo Fiber, we don't do anything half-assed. We offer 100% real fiber and real human support that serves the community from the community. So while others may say they have fiber, in the end, there's half-fast fiber, and then there's Allo Fiber. Allo Fiber, internet built for you.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped and picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Hour 1 of Old School is sponsored by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A happy Friday morning to each and every one of you tuned into Old School. Welcome to the show. I am Austin Norman. He is Jay Foreman. It has been a long 11 hours since I have, 13, let's do some math here. 11 hours since I have seen my co-host here on Old School, my partner in the booth for high school football. Happy Friday morning, Jay Foreman. Football's upon us.
It's great, man. And look, you got the Ireland game tomorrow morning about, 8 or 9 o'clock?
Should be an 11 o'clock game.
11 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, that's when Nebraska kicked off against Northwestern out there.
Dang, I thought I was going to get a little European soccer feel where I could sit there and have me a little breakfast tea and a breakfast burrito and watch some football on the deck. But either way.
Who's to say you can't do that at 11 anyways?
High school is kicked off last night.
Oh, and we got some stuff to talk about in high school football.
Man,
we got some stuff to talk about.
Tip of the cap to Northeast Rockets. Dead leg. I'm telling you right now. I'm just telling you right now. Connor in there, is he listening? Does he have any, editing and social media skills?
Oh, yeah. Connor's got a lot of skills.
All right, Connor, you listening? Every week, I'm starting on YouTube, on my YouTube, on the Ticket YouTube, and we're going to do crossover. We're starting Dead Leg University by Jay Foreman. We're going to have clips, and then I'm going to have audio on it. Deal? I'll give you a little bit of change. I'll break you. Look, Connor. Connor's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to charge you a little overtime.
This week's winner at Dead Leg University, Julian McDonald.
Julian, don't call me Ronald McDonald. Dead Leg University, the first one. You know what? We need to get like a little trophy. Listen.
Rickstein recognition. We're just down the street.
Yes.
Hooks up with a little trophy.
Want a little sponsorship. We're not going to get anything out, but we got to start giving out little plaques or something for Dead Leg University. And then we're on the defensive side, we're going to have all heads to bed University.
There were some pops last night in that one.
Hey,
they were hitting.
Mr. Lott, a.k.a. Ronnie Lott. The buck stops here. Will Manning. Don't call me Peyton Manning. Don't call me Mark Manning.
I am my own man.
Laying the boom.
Polson had the clothesline.
Yeah. Oh, look, Polson is built was out there like Bill Romanowski. he was Toby Gerhart as a running back back in Stanford days. Defensively, he was John Lynch and Bill Romanowski with and a little bit of LeVar Arrington too in him. It was a great game, man. It was
20-13, Northeast takes down East, an 87-yard touchdown drive in under 3 minutes with one timeout for the win. Keyed by a couple plays, the Julian McDonald double dead leg into getting out of bounds after the first down to stop the clock. Then it's Zane Scully to Caleb Polson up that far sideline. Front corner, just like they started the game off in the second quarter with the touchdown to start the scoring, they ended the same way.
Yeah, coordinators generally will go back to, things that work in, in the most, opportune time, right? And so great play call there by Coach Boyd and to get the first touchdown there where they kind of driven it and kind of stymied themselves and finally went to, in the red zone. You think players, not plays, right? And that's the old Nick Saban thing. And a lot of coaches use that and ran their running back Polson kind of it was like a delayed out and up out the flat, caught the defender slipping. They saw something in that zone defense that was rolled over to Barry. The receiver really good. They did a good job of shutting him down, right? As far as the coverages, but they gave up the middle of the field and obviously the outer third. And so they scored their first touchdown on that. Then Polson had a really good run when he had worn the Lincoln East defense down a little bit, reversed his field, and I was able to, gut it out and get that 10 or 15-yard touchdown even while catching a cramp. But then the best one was in where they tried to, were thinking about putting a dagger in the heart. They dialed up the play again. My man Scully, don't call me Vince Scully, had been dropping dimes all night, just off the fingertips. The ball placement was great for a shorter quarterback.
Mm-hmm. If his receivers were 3 inches taller, Northeast might have scored 40. They had some opportunities.
No, some were really overthrown, but I'm talking about those touch passes. In the first drive, Austin, if you remember, they threw the corner route. It was right off the offensive player's fingertips, and it was right where only he could catch it or he could play defense. Then they threw a back shoulder fade, which I think maybe Barry could have had, but really good defense there by actually Gertz, that was the cornerback, and obviously he went off as a running back for Lincoln East. he really played well in that 50-50 ball. Then there was other ones as well that he was placing the ball in really good spots. And then when he needed to make a big throw, he made it. But it's also how he was able to bounce back after having 3 crucial turnovers at inopportune times. One that led to an easy 7 points to East. So when you're thinking about what Northeast was able to do, they were able to go on the road, somewhat hostile environment, and play
just across the parking lot from East High over at Seacrest.
Right, but
best hostels you're gonna get.
Yeah, but in a place that all summer it's the first game, you're excited. You hadn't beat them since 2012. You're not known as a football factory. You never are really getting any respect on the football field. So you're fighting an unknown opponent, and it's in your head, right? You're fighting the ghost of the past, and you came out and started throwing punches, and you had just a little bit more in the tank.
On the flip side, then for East, Jay, saw Huxton Cat on the first drive. Not much after that. We saw a bunch of quarterback switches between Thad Keebler and Brendan Greesh. But I think you and I agree. You mentioned this, I think, on the air, but it's worth mentioning again for people that might have missed the game. East has a 4th and 1 with just over 3 minutes to go. It's a 3rd down. They get it to 4th and 1. And instead of getting up to the line, running ahead for 1 yard like they had success doing all night, play clock winds down. They decide to take a timeout to talk over what they want to do. They come out of the timeout with a procedure penalty. Backs up to 4th and 6. They have to punt. Ball does roll inside the 5 for good field position. Then it's that 96-yard drive to win it by Northeast immediately after that. A lot of opportunities for East to put some more points on the board, but no rhythm at quarterback. Passing game wasn't in rhythm, and miscues at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's a tough one there, just because I'm a big in cause and and effect, and that was it right there. I felt like East all night with Cat, and he's just getting his baseball legs out of him, getting his football legs underneath him. So you're trying to really save him a little bit because he's so good on defense as a linebacker. Him and Manning are a dynamic duo. And the first game's always the hardest as far as being in football shape and cardio and used to the anxiety and all that. But ultimately, East was able to run the ball at times at will. Cat was just a bulldozer. Then you were able to go to Campbell for a little bit. That's kind of a change in pace back. Then you had Gertz coming in there, and he was a combination of both. Can make you miss, really patient as a runner, can run behind his pads, and has a decent enough speed to take it to the house. I just felt like they got away from the run game too early and thought they had control of the game with only a 6-point lead. And sure, the way the game was going, you felt like Northeast, when they turned the ball over again, kind of a really bad drive as far as the, putting plays together. You had control of the game, on the scoreboard, and Northeast had lost control of the game. But I never felt like East had control of that game, even with that 6-point lead. And that's what led to some of their mistakes. And more importantly, that 4th and 1 call. And what I mean, what we're saying for people listening, is 4th and 1. You just essentially ran the ball from the 25-yard line all the way down to the 30 or whatever of the Northeast Rockets, instead of just lining up and running it with either or any of your 3 running backs, right, against that pretty good offensive line, at least last night, or bring in a Greesh, who's a straight up running back playing quarterback, and just going straight ahead. You called a timeout, you come out of timeout, you have a legal procedure penalty, because sometimes you don't need to be cute in the most opportune times because you had a 6-point lead.
Well, that was a tie game.
That's a tie game.
But within 4 minutes to go,
you were going into I call it double dipping. Most likely, at least a field goal. Realistically, touchdown. You come out after halftime, you get the ball. That's when it's game, set, match. Even if you're able to get a touchdown there, field goal later, however you get to that 10-point lead, it's a lot different ball game when you're only up by a score.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about in the second half. That play right there is a crucial play. Now, everybody's talking about maybe the blown coverage on Paulson scoring and all this and all that. Dead leg university by McDonald. That play right there was a game-changing play, and it was a self-inflicted wound that probably hurts the most.
Northeast 1-0 to start the year. Lincoln East drops to 0-1. We will have another game from Seacrest Field tonight, 7 o'clock kickoff, Lincoln Southeast and Millard West. Let's preview that game a little bit, Jay. 2 teams that end up with a 5-5 record last year. Both score in the 200s, allow in the 200s as well in terms of points last season. We know Southeast has been in and around that conversation. Again, maybe beat up on a little bit softer schedule for some of their wins. Kind of same thing for Millard West. We'll get to kind of the big story and the takeaways from their schedules last year as we get into this conversation. But a great chance for Lincoln Southeast to start the season off on the right foot, welcoming a program probably on their level down here to Seacrest Field tonight.
Yeah, and look, they get to play a team from the Metro, and obviously the big game tonight, in the state of Nebraska is Millard North and Millard South.
Oh, we're
and,
getting there. Don't worry.
Yeah, but Millard West, listen, they are no slouch either. They're going to come down and they're a feisty, group. They have always kind of been the overlooked football program and basketball program, so they're going to be tough. They're well coached. They've developed a lot of players that end up going on and playing at different either high schools or colleges. But then you look at Southeast, you have Gavin Sim, who's a pretty good quarterback, healthy, right? Has had a really good summer. Obviously committed to, I think, Northwestern. I think I forget what the name. I think it's a Northwestern school, and so he's going. And then you have Mensa, who's a tight end, H-back kind of receiver, really, really good athlete, who's the X factor. They normally, East has a pretty big offensive line, a little bit smaller this year, but they have I think his name is Caden, the running back that's going to be back. Hopefully he's healthy because he's a problem. So when you think about skill positions, right? You have your head coach in Gatula, have your quarterback in Gavin Sim, you have the skill position guys. It puts you in an advantageous position to be able to not only beat a team from the Metro, but more importantly, defend your home turf.
Gavin Sim committed to Northern State.
Northern State, yeah. He's a good quarterback. I think he's a developing guy, really good arm, better athlete than people give him credit for. Overlooked some, but I think he's really got on his grind, on his game, and is going to be able to, he can affect the game with his feet and his arm.
Northern State opened their season yesterday, a 42-17 victory over Chadron State. So.
Yeah, and he can throw the ball, man. And the thing is like Southeast probably hasn't had a quarterback like him, and as long as I've been, back here, at least in the last 6-7 years, as far as being able to throw the ball, step back and spin it. Can run it as well, and then they have some good skill positions, and they also have Bolin on the other side. He's a corner. He's a younger guy. I think he's a junior. A lot of Division I interest and obviously some offers, and so you have a lockdown corner. You can flip him over on offense, and then you're off to the races. So you talk about the uptick in Lincoln and talent. We saw it for Northeast, right? Skill positions galore. Where they felt like they leaned on it.
Even underrated lines that played East to a draw or better.
Right, and it withstood it. It was a straight up street fight for them. And then you look at East; they have a lot of young talent in that sophomore class, and obviously the guys that we saw last night. And then you're going to see the same thing from Southwest when we see them. You see the same thing at North Star, right? And they were in a barn burner, essentially a shootout against Norfolk last night. So they can score points. Now they got to tidy up that defense now. But if done right, and you kind of get some, some guys in there that want to change the outlook on Lincoln football, you can get on that competitive level and start having sellout games like you've had in basketball around here in the recent years.
We'll head up to the Metro here as we start wrapping up this segment, this look around high school football. Omaha Westside 42, Creighton Prep 10. Last night, Westside looks the part against their biggest rival. How about this from Mike Sauter? Westside's now won 11 straight games in that rivalry matchup. In those 11 games, Jay, cumulative score, Westside 491, Prep 111.
Yeah, I mean, in Creighton Prep, I think is a team that, as the season goes on, they get more and more dangerous. They're a big running team, physical. Obviously, it's a prep school, so you have to kind of develop the kids, and sometimes you got to wait. They were really dangerous last year, made their run in the playoff last year. But when you're playing against a team like Westside, where they have Tay Jenkins, they have Braylon Warren, who's high 4-star recruit, was a part of the Elite 11. He's the real deal Holyfield, and a plethora of skill position guys. They have Parrish, who's going to be the number 1 recruit next year as far as high school kids. He's an offensive lineman, has a ton of offers from everywhere in the Big Ten and the SEC, starting to pick up interest as well, along with a host of other players. They got a big offensive tackle that transferred there from Bell West. They're able to line up and go physical with Creighton Prep. And then when you have a guy like Braylon Warren, who's not only a great passer, very efficient, but a really good runner as well, along with the best running back in the state for the last 2 years, and Tay Jenkins, it's the rest is history. And then when you win 11 in a row, it becomes more of a mental challenge more than the physical.
Red over blue last night. There'll be a red and blue versus blue and green tonight, though, Jay, the big one in the state of Nebraska. A week 1 matchup between Millard South and Millard North. Millard South, come one, come all. Last year, wrecked pretty much everyone in their path. Millard North continues its climb as a football program. They bring in a lot of transfers as well. Should be a doozy up there in the Metro.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously, you got Trey Taylor, you got Ellis, I think Brown transferred in late from Chicago, kind of like underneath the radar. And Millard South has somehow, some way got a plethora of talent to relocate from Lincoln to relocate up there to Millard. So they reloaded, right? And, look, they're the number 1 team in the state. They've been dominant the last 2 years. Trey Taylor, chose to come here and obviously continue his growth and maturation. And, obviously being a 5-star recruit and going to Nebraska next year and a host of, offensive weapons. But then Millard North said, listen, all right, we had a little taste of success last year. We're going to up our stuff as well. Coach Burrell has done a good job of coming in there, bringing energy to the program, withstanding the early season adversity last year, then start getting it going. And the one thing I like about him is he's trying to build a program. Now, look, they've gotten some guys that are able to transfer in there. You got Pittman, you got Evan Robinson from Lincoln Southwest, and a host of other guys that have transferred up to Millard North and became a Mustang and got into the program, along with Erickson, who's a Nebraska recruit.
Yep.
So right now, when you look at this game, it's gonna come down to the offenses, which offense is able to control the game. Obviously, Millard South is obviously, explosive offensively, and everybody's gonna be up there to watch Trey Taylor throw the football. But Millard North is going to try to line up and punch you dead in the face. Now, they should be able to control this line of scrimmage. You got a Division I recruit offensive lineman that's 6'8", 6'9", 270, 80 pounds. You should be able to run behind him at will, right?
Whenever you want.
With a really good quarterback they have, and they have Central's running back that came in as well. They had an early Nebraska offer, got injured or got hurt, and now he's trying to work his way back. So now you got 3 Division I guys there, along with Torrey Pittman that plays wide receiver, DB, corner. So when you look at what Millard South has, Millard North has the same thing, along with a plethora of other guys. So it's going to be this is a show and tell game, right? The coaches, 2 new coaches, right? So now you got to show and tell what you can do now, right?
Are you ready for the biggest stage you might have until November?
Well, they're looking at there's no advantage there.
Nope.
Right? So you're up there. Let's see what you've done and it's the first game. It's always the hardest game. But then you got a lot of players that are going to D1. You got Pittman that's coming to Nebraska. You got Erickson that's coming to Nebraska. You got you got Ellis that's coming to Nebraska. You got Trey Taylor. So right now, this is good on good, best on best, besides when they play Westside, right? So let's see what you got. Because you're going to get a quick look and see what you possibly going to see on an everyday basis, not just in practice. That's scout team talent. You have to dominate in this game. You can't run and hide in this game. The 5 stars, the 4 stars, the offers, that don't mean anything. Let's see if you know how to play for keeps. Because just because they might be your teammate next year, your number 1 team, your obligation, your priority needs to be the guys at either Millard South or Millard North, and we shall see tonight.
And playing for keeps maybe looks a little bit different when these aren't guys that have grown up together.
Yes, they're not even from here. So you look, you didn't grow up playing like Pee-wee. Omaha, you youth football together, middle school. You guys either transferred in or flown in to go to play here. So this brother-in-law and this buddy stuff, that better be out the door. Obviously, you don't want to. You're going to play to hit people and to hurt him. You're not going to do it to injure him. I want to see if you have it in you, because if you don't have it in you right now, when 10,000 people are going to be up in there, how are you going to have it when you got 90,000 people in there? Because a lot of these kids expect to go from high school straight to playing as a freshman. We're going to see what you made of tonight.
8 days from kickoff for Nebraska football. Jay, what do you expect the Nebraska representation to be up there at that Millard South, Millard North game? Pop in, say hi, get back to Ohio prep, or stick around, watch the game? What do you think the approach is for Nebraska?
I'm sure everybody, the whole staff is going to be up there. I mean, you got every position group covered.
Right.
And I'm sure there's some maybe, like Evan Robinson has, I think, an Iowa State offer and all that, and North Dakota State. No, North Dakota. Yeah, North Dakota State and South Dakota State offers and all that. So
Which is a better offer? Iowa State in its current state or North Dakota, South Dakota State?
Whoever got that Quan. Whoever got that money. No, I would say maybe Iowa State because of obviously the financial backing. But listen, South Dakota State would probably walk the dog on both of them right now.
Hey.
Same with North Dakota State. So I'd probably say, there's 3 great offers. And I know he has some more. I know at Northern Illinois and everybody else that is looking at him. I know that he went up on a visit to Iowa as well. So, like as far as like representation, every position group, as far as Nebraska, including Matt Rule, I'm sure, Damon Benning will be up there. I mean, he's not affiliated with them, but I mean, obviously he rolls with them. So I'm assuming everybody would be up there watching. And if not, they're watching it probably. I'm sure that game is streamed, right?
Oh, it's got to be. I would be shocked.
They'll be keeping a close eye on all their recruits.
Big thanks to Graham Tire for their sponsorship of Old School. We'll tell you more and more about them throughout the course of the show. Jay, a few things from our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line to get to. First and foremost, from 8009. Great view on high school football in Nebraska. How was the golf game at Quarry Oaks?
Oh, it was somewhat good. It was good enough to get some of that Quan.
That's the important part.
Yeah, right here, Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 to 2000. So it was good enough to get the job done. That's all. That's what we do. But Grant Wisham, I'm gonna tell you about Grant Wisham. He's a money player. He steps up when you need him the most.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Big time players make big time plays, big time moments.
He's very coachable too.
Which of those is more important? We take that moment by moment. Eric is a Northeast Rocket. He appreciates the shout out. Says my man Jay, no days off, Foreman. Hope you swung them well yesterday. And the money question, Jay, from Bada Bing on YouTube: would Millard South be able to beat Maple Grove High School?
Maple Grove's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But I know Millard South wouldn't beat Eden Prairie though.
Well, no one's beating Eden Prairie. That's
I'm just saying they just wouldn't. Like this, like what they're.
Hey, now Minnetonka beat Eden Prairie, so if Minnetonka can do it.
Yeah, but they're plethora of they've recruited some of our kids. It happens every once in a while, but I'm just talking about game in and game out. This football is child's play. Like I told you, like if I played football down here, they'd have a statue down here of me. Straight up.
Wearing number 6?
There would be a lot of guys that wouldn't have been at the University of Nebraska. The way I was toting the rock in high school, you know what I'm saying? And doing stuff on the basketball courts and get some feelings would have been hurt because we was talking cash, you know what, to you as well.
Cash Money Records.
Yeah.
Lane Train, you're funny on YouTube. I think this is a running bit now. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and go to break. We'll tell you more about our friends at Graham Tire at Heartland of Nebraska Windows, who sponsors Hour 1 of Old School and more. Who's the biggest villain of the offseason in college football? Let's have that discussion. Who are you going to remember as we get ready to turn our attention to the action on the field? Husker Hall of Famer NFL vet Jay Foreman over there. I'm Austin Norman. Hour 1 of Old School continues after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you or someone you know has been seriously injured and you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will fight for the justice you deserve in court to get the very best possible outcome. Trust the compassionate and hardworking attorneys at Liberty Law Group when you need an attorney in Nebraska or Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and new Sierra and Silverado trucks continue to roll in, and August is a great time to upgrade. Right now, get new GMC Sierras for under $50,000. Or get 2.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,500 bonus cash. Visit us in Louisville or anytime at koppelcars.com. Stock number G306367 with approved credit.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install them and forget them outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustis Body Shop in Eustis, Cozad, Grand Island, Kearney, Lexington, and Lincoln.
The most recommended Eustis Body Shop. That's who we are.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion with Window World Lincoln. Are you ready to transform your home? We offer exceptional replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing that will elevate your home's curb appeal and value. As a nationally known, locally owned business, we treat you like family and work tirelessly to deliver the best for less. Don't wait to give your home the upgrade it deserves. Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or check out windowworldlincoln.com. Let's make your home the talk of the neighborhood.
Is there anything worse than paying for something that's done half-assed? You buy something, you want it to work, especially when it comes to your internet. When you're trying to stream a movie, work from home, or shop online, half-assed internet doesn't get it done. At Allo Fiber, we don't do anything half-assed. We offer 100% real fiber and real human support that serves the community from the community. So while others may say they have fiber, in the end, there's half-fast fiber, and then there's Allo Fiber. Allo Fiber, internet built for you.
This is your High School Minute.
The high school football season continued yesterday with several games across the state, headlined by true thrillers in Class A, including a 51-48 triple overtime win for Lincoln North Star over Norfolk and a 20-13 Lincoln Northeast win over Lincoln East. Today's action includes one of the more compelling matchups of the 2026 season, and Millard South and 5-star Nebraska quarterback commit Trey Taylor facing off against Millard North and 4-star Nebraska safety commit Torrey Pittman. Another big game tonight will take place in Class B as Norris will host the 2025 state runner-ups in Gretna East. And in Class C1 today, the defending state champs Wahoo are back in action against Syracuse. I'm Connor Crumey, and this has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
Nutrition Authority invites you to enjoy internet-crushing prices in the back-to-school blowout. We already offer better than internet pricing, but from Monday, August 24th through Saturday, August 29th, we're slashing them even deeper. The back-to-school blowout at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Half an hour into Old School, brought to you by the good folks over at Graham Tire Company. They've got their locations in Lincoln and all across the Midwest that they've been serving for more than 75 years. More than just tires, Graham Tire does all kinds of car and light truck repairs, too. From brakes to oil changes, you can trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. It's Graham Tire that's getting you to the places that matter most. 402-464-5685. To those of you who would like to be participants in the proceedings here on Old School. The question, Jay, who will you remember as the biggest villain, the biggest main character syndrome of college football's offseason? Jim from Hallam says, biggest villain for me is Lane Kiffin. LSU's always been my second favorite team to root for behind the Huskers, but I will not be rooting for them while that guy is the coach. Thomas in Lincoln says, Notre Dame. They had the easy schedule, then cried when they didn't make the playoffs and chose not to play the bowl game like Patrick Mahomes when he barely gets touched and the KC Zebras throw the yellow flag. So vote for Lane Kiffin, a vote for Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'd probably go Lane Kiffin for sure. Just the way he handled the Ole Miss situation, the drama for almost a month. When he left, getting cussed out, at the airport and trying to take the coaches, trying to take the players, trying to coach then tried to come back and coach the bowl game, then playing victim, then trying to manipulate the media. I mean, it's definitely Lane Kiffin / LSU.
That lets Texas Tech way off the hook to me. What LSU is doing is not something I agree with, not something I like. But according to a bunch of judges, it's at least legal. It's not what we want to see necessarily. But Texas Tech pushed for a dude that bet on his team's games
Yeah.
to be, allowed to play. And I don't love what LSU is doing, but there are plenty of judges that, I doubt they're all on the take. They are reading the rules as written. They are playing the laws. They understand it. So no, I don't like it, but at least it's legal. It's not betting on your team's games. It's not, ruining the competitive integrity of the sport in a way that's always been illegal.
Yeah.
I think we just let Texas Tech off the hook way too easily because we're so focused on the eligibility stuff that I think is a pressing need.
Yeah, I mean they definitely are running a close second, but I think it's a little bit farther. It's one mishap for Texas Tech that maybe they did or didn't know the magnitude prior to signing them to a $5 million contract and paying $1 million to Cincinnati. But it's a bigger issue because it started at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And
it started in Indiana.
Excuse me. And Cincinnati okayed it. So then Texas Tech probably would assume, you got to think when they're doing these NIL and transfer portal deals, there's not a lot of research going on. Is he good? Is he a good dude? Is he a good player? Do we need him? He fits a need. He's a guy that puts us over the hump. Okay, what's your agent? How much it costs? All right, see you Monday. So, Texas, that is one transgression, right?
Yeah, but they dragged out for like 2 months. And the statements that we got from Cody Campbell and Texas Tech's president, he did nothing wrong. All we want to do is support him. Right. For him to say, my mental health is going to be impacted if I can't play college football.
Yeah. Well, they were trying. That was an act of desperation, right?
Yeah, but you still did it. You still said it.
Sure. Because the way college football is, you're trying to do what's best for your team because ultimately you're trying to win. And there's big money, right? And you obviously invested a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if he's still getting paid that contract or not. We shall see. Or are they actually still supporting him? More importantly, that's one situation.
Mm-hmm.
With Lane Kiffin, it's been a history of situations, even back to this prior season of taking shots at the Big Ten because Ole Miss really dookie down their legs, not once, but twice to get into college football playoff.
Mm-hmm.
This year, you go from the darling of college football, what they're doing down in Ole Miss, and then you have one situation or one situation of adversity when you lose to Georgia, and then you go berserk. All of a sudden, the rumblings of you going to LSU or Florida come out that Monday.
You're flying your family.
Your family's
to
going to 2 different places, and you're like, I'm
Rouge.
still here. I'm coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that you're actually looking for places to live in Baton Rouge, right? And then the whole thing of every game, and then you try to blame the media for your actions. And then not only you finally make the decision, Ole Miss makes their decision. You try to not only take their coaches and players and then try to make them out to be the bad guys when they asked you several times and gave you a blank check multiple times. What do you need to stay here? What do we need to give you to actually coach through the college football playoffs? Because LSU was going to keep that position open for you no matter what. You were the one and only choice for them.
Yeah.
So with Lane Kiffin is definitely, and he continue to do it though.
Well, and of course we don't want to let him off the hook for being the one to reach out to these guys that were about to get cut and have them reach out to the NFL team and say, hey, please cut me so I can go back to college. Lane initiated a lot of that
and then encourage them to sue the NCAA as well.
In Louisiana court, where they're going to get their court.
And that's still going. Now, the SEC has said that you're not going to allow it. Then there was a ruling yesterday by judges that said that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are again. So you could even just say, okay, that's apples to apples with Lane in Texas Tech, right? Just two big deals, right?
Yeah.
But Lane has been laning. So that is really dummied down Texas Tech. And then you had all the different 5 for 5 to come out. So that situation with Sorsby is just nullified now. Everybody's moved on in Texas Tech and all that. Business as usual. 8 different things has happened. 6 of them are down in Baton Rouge, right?
It's fair.
You got to think. You not only have Lane Kiffin, you got Kim Mulkey. You got Wade. You have the administration. You have the governor. So of the 8 things that have been going on in college football, it starts with Lane, and everybody else says, oh, Lane's doing it. We all should do it. We're just down here in Baton Rouge having a good old time. So it's
gumbo jambalaya and eligibility violations.
Hey, just
talk about a 3-course.
Hey, how's that? Hey, how was that training game? How was that preseason game? Coach, man, I need some reps, man. I'm coming back from injury, man. Well, guess what?
I got reps.
Hey, check your DM. This is the lawyer you call. Just say hi and bye. We got you covered. Your flight leaves tomorrow at 8:00. I don't know how you're gonna get there. We'll pick you up though at 10:30. I mean, homeboy is just operating like a rogue.
Yeah.
Hey, call it. I mean, he literally was calling Todd Monken up. It was like, I need you to do me a favor. I know how he was operating.
Well, and Todd Monken said, I had no idea why Lane Kiffin was calling me. It makes a lot of sense now.
Right. Because
I don't even have Lane's number.
You ain't drafting nobody
me.
now. So he's like, what's he calling? You thought like it's a dial-a joke, right? Oh, you know how he's saying, hey, man, you know, how's the old boy doing? Oh, he's all right. What, is he going to make the team? And once Todd Monken would have said, I don't know. Well, I need you to cut him. Why? Don't ask. Bye.
Click.
Yeah. If Lane will call guys here at Nebraska while the season's going on, what makes you think he ain't going to call people up there and they're in training camp? He'll call. If he had the president's number, he'll call him too. Say, hey, what you doing?
Do we think that Lane Kiffin has the president's number?
I don't know, man. Because see, Lane used to have I grew up with Lane.
Mm-hmm.
He used to have a ticket to the cookout. I'm sure he does. He rolls in different places. Lane's just a different dude, man.
Do we think Lane is okay? This is going to be an unfair kind of comparison, so I'm going to refrain from using names. Is Lane one of those guys that you either love him or you hate him? If he's on your team, you'll love him until he's not on your team, then you hate him, or it's different vibe.
It's both, even while you're on your team and winning. He's a hard to take. I don't mind him just because Lane is Lane. He's always kind of had that confidence / arrogance, maybe arrogance or whatever. But you know, he's there to coach. He's going to do what he needs to do. His thought process isn't necessarily normal, but that's why he's a really good coach. He's obviously had to have good, attributes for guys to be successful under him. So I think, more guys love him while you have him there, but I think also he's going to push the envelope in his give a what factor is definitely at, minus 1,000 because he don't care at all.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line has thoughts. Thunder Not Collins says, here's a vote for Sorsby. Eli from Fallbrook, Texas Tech, 100%. You can't let a player like Sorsby play. Thunder Not Collins says, Texas Tech, they mishandled the young man's addiction so pathetically. They could have actually helped him, but they let him out to dry. We get a vote for Texas A&M from 8893. That one I'm not sure I understand. Feel free to elaborate, 8893. 3616 says, the biggest villain of the Nebraska offseason is Dylan Raiola, making the comments that he did up in Oregon and transferring away. 5124 says, my biggest villain of the offseason is the reality that Nebraska is likely to be mediocre once again.
Oof. Read that last text again.
My biggest villain is the reality that Nebraska is likely to be mediocre once again.
Why are you coming to the party? Why are you showing up to a movie writing your Rotten Apples review already in the negative?
He's not even started yet.
We ain't even played a game yet.
You've barely seen the opening credits.
You've been watching too much of the X when they go to practice. Yeah, I mean, look, Dylan and stuff like that. I mean, that's just small stuff. I mean, I know it started with when he went in the portal, he never really said thank you to the, people and the fans in Nebraska. And then he eventually did. And then they asked him a question. And if you know Dylan, he was just talking, just the difference, just to say stuff. They probably didn't even really know what to say. And they like nature and they got cornfields out there and all this stuff. I just think it's a, lack of maturity. I don't think he's a villain. Dylan doesn't have a villainous bone in his body. Now there's other things.
But Dylan and villain rhyme. It would be so perfect.
He's not. That's not. I wish he did. If he did, he'd probably still be here. Because a villain is going to have that win at all costs, that type of Patrick Mahomes type of stuff, built in you. But he's not a villain. He's immature. But that's part of what he's out there trying to do is, trying to, find himself as a player and mature as a young man moving into adulthood.
Any more thoughts on college football villains? Let us know. 402-464-5685, the number 2 hour Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. Big thank you to Heartland of Nebraska Windows for their sponsorship of Hour 1 of Old School. Heartland of Nebraska Windows, based out of Hallam, Nebraska. They offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more information, 402-430-3852. You can also visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. 2122 says, I bet Sam Levitt really likes the trees in Louisiana. And Eric says, my biggest villain is still Austin. Good. I'm glad, Eric. Let's keep it that way. We'll go to break, wrap up Hour 1 of Old School after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they're committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perchmerch.com.
Meet your new obsession, the Amigos Crunchadilla. Not a burrito, not a quesadilla. The Crunchadilla is a salsa tortilla filled with a unique blend of quesadilla flavors, then crisped to perfection for a crunch you'll crave. Loaded with melty cheese, crispy tortilla strips, and of course, Amigos' famous ranch. Get your choice of 4 boldly flavored meats, like Southwest chicken or chorizo, all topped with bacon. Crispy, craveable, and made to crush your hunger. The Crunchadilla, only at Amigos. Amigos value meals are getting an upgrade with more of the bold, fresh flavors you love. Now we have 9 options for only $5, $6, or $7. With fries and a small drink, these are full meals for a small price. There's something for everyone with the new Chicken Ranchero Burrito or Quesadilla Snackers. Even Amigos favorites like the soft meat burrito or crisp pinto are now in value meals. With a deal this good, we'll be seeing you all the time at Amigos.
Keep summer green with Judson Bylene and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
This is your High School Minute.
The high school football season continued yesterday with several games across the state, headlined by 2 thrillers in Class A, including a 51-48 triple overtime win for Lincoln North Star over Norfolk and a 20-13 Lincoln Northeast win over Lincoln East. Today's action includes one of the more compelling matchups of the 2026 season, and Millard South and 5-star Nebraska quarterback commit Trey Taylor facing off against Millard North and 4-star Nebraska safety commit Torrey Pittman. Another big game tonight will take place in Class B as Norris will host the 2025 state runner-ups in Gretna East. And in Class C1 today, the defending state champs Wahoo are back in action against Syracuse. I'm Connor Crumey, and this has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
If the power is out, traffic lights may be too. If you come across a dark intersection, treat it like a 4-way stop. Find more outage safety tips at les.com/safety.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion with Window World Lincoln. Are you ready to transform your home? We offer exceptional replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing that will elevate your home's curb appeal and value. As a nationally known, locally owned business, we treat you like family and work tirelessly to deliver the best for less. Don't wait to give your home the upgrade it deserves. Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or check out windowworldlincoln.com. Let's make your home the talk of the neighborhood.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and new Sierra and Silverado trucks continue to roll in, and August is a great time to upgrade. Right now, get new GMC Sierras for under $50,000 or get 2.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,500 bonus cash. Visit us in Louisville or anytime at koppelcars.com. Stock number G306367 with approved credit.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Got some more college football offseason villains to talk about here in the final segment of Hour 1. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you here on Old School. Hour 1 of the show brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Brad from Baldwin, good to see you this morning. Brad says, my biggest villain is whoever signed the deal with the devil that made us bad. So there's our first Steve Peterson and Harvey Perlman reference. Surprised it took that long, honestly. Gorilla Bear throwing some shade to Dylan Raiola. Yeah, there's so much more talent in Oregon that he's the third string quarterback. He's the backup. He's right behind Dante Moore. He's on the Dante Moore plan. I'm kind of with Eric. I mean, the first time for everything, I kind of agree with this. And Eric texts in, who cares what Dylan said? He's gone. Goodbye. Good luck.
Yeah.
Nature of the business now.
Yeah. I mean, you wish him all the luck in the world, and he'll do well. I mean, obviously he has a lot to work on, but he'll be just fine.
Trough Baby says, part of me thinks Raiola is just coming up with an excuse for why he's not playing rather than purposely taking shots at Nebraska. Again, I'm with you, Jay. I don't think he was being mean or rude to Nebraska on purpose. I'm not sure he was making excuses for why he isn't playing. I think that it's just what you say about your new team. Hey, there's a lot of talent on this roster. We all know it.
Yeah,
we just are going to take it a different way when it comes from the guy who transferred out of Nebraska to Oregon and says it.
Yeah, he's not lying. I mean, there is a lot of talent at Oregon, and might be more talent than and they're at a different place. They've been to college football playoffs the last 2 years, and are starting to kind of inch towards being national champs, and different NIL space. And I mean, it's he's stating the obvious. I just think it started with nobody knows how it ended. It was mutually agreed upon. There's blame on both sides when it doesn't work out, because in reality and in theory, it should have worked out like gangbusters. And it would have worked out like gangbusters, even if it was hard. Now, there's other things that can be going on internally. Nobody knows that. And I always say it like this: it's they were in a marriage, and one side has one view of it, the other side has another. Then there's the third view, and that's actually what really happened. And so that's just where they're at. But then when you don't or are not thankful, I guess, or do what everybody else has done, thanking where they've been at, and as they transfer. We actually just saw it with the young lady that transferred to Oklahoma State from the women's basketball team, was here for 4 years.
Callan Hake.
Yeah, was a pretty productive player, had a good career, and was didn't work out. I don't know what the rosters or whatever she decided to do. Thank Nebraska. I'll always be a Husker. I'm on and going to do it my last year at Oklahoma State very easily.
You know why she was so classy? She's from Minnesota.
Of course, I didn't want to say that, but
I'll say it for you.
Yeah, but just you could just do it in AI real quick.
Right.
I mean, we could probably do it right now.
You're already doing your homework in AI, so you may as well just do a
saying,
statement in AI.
a Chat GPT, they can make up a graphic for you real quick, and so that's I think where it started. And plus, it was like how it's so quick, and always heard the rumblings, and I get it, man. And it's no different when Frost mentions Nebraska. He's like, I'm not going to talk about Nebraska, but and some of the things that his gripes are right. There's a lot of gripes with him that are right, and it just didn't work out. And it's a lot of clickbait when you mention Nebraska. That's why people do it.
Let's see. 2280. My villains are the negative so-called Husker fans already throwing the season away. Wish they would sit down and be quiet. Let other Husker fans enjoy the season that's yet to come at GBR. Grobate says, unpopular opinion, Nebraska sees Frost as the villain. But we lost a lot of one-score games when they had, 20 childish penalties per game. How about this, Jay from Crowbait? I blame the players for those losses, not Frost.
I mean, it's a team game. There's some players that need to play better.
Coaches need to coach better.
Being more invested. You'd like the coaches to kind of create the environment to do so. It's kind of like the infinity thing is it can go around everywhere. So I think there's plenty of blame to go around. But I think it starts with the head man and how he handles it and his maturity or lack thereof, and so forth and so on.
Backed by popular demand, the people have asked, the people have spoken, and we will listen. College football picks.
Yes.
We got the games.
Yes.
We got the week 0 games.
Yes.
We'll see if we put anything on the line or not. Maybe a steak dinner so Jay Foreman can finally get paid up, but we'll see about that. College football week 0 pick'em next on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Jake, you know what I love almost as much as the Big Red?
Big scores on the field?
Good guess, but nope.
Big spikes on the court?
I love those too, but I'm thinking food. Like those big, budget-friendly portions you find at Buzzard Billy's.
Now you're talking. I love Buzzard Billy's. I love the shrimp po' boys and the blackened chicken.
You almost always find me enjoying gumbo.
Big plays, big scores, big wins, Big Red. Yep, love them all, especially
those big portions that are budget-friendly. Only at Buzzard Billy's, A-Market.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, squeeze every lemon, and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day, because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Everyone's always looking for more ways to find storage, but you might not be sure which avenue to follow. Look no further than Larkin's Portable Buildings off Highway 77 in Portland and 84th and Highway 2 in Lincoln. They can customize any building, from cabins to tiny homes and golf simulators. Make plans to see Kurt and the team at the Nebraska State Fair in Grand Island, where they're giving away a free shed. Just stop by their booth to register. That's Larkin's Portable Buildings, an authorized dealer of Dirksen products. Call Kurt today at 402-440-1246 to learn more.
Good work, good people, good community. That's what Schwezo Construction is built on. For over 40 years, we've been constructing commercial spaces across Lincoln and showing up for the community long after the last brick is laid. We're growing our team, and we're looking for hardworking people who want to be part of something that they're proud of. Come build with us at schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In every city, every town, there's a Husker fan. You show up, you stand out, no matter where the road takes you. And wherever Husker Nation goes, life doesn't slow down. That's why Emeritus makes dental and vision coverage simple. Quick quotes, affordable options, and nationwide access for fans everywhere. Choose the coverage that fits your journey. Emeritus, fulfilling life, fueled by Husker pride. Go to emeritus.com/Husker Dental for more information.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If the power is out, traffic lights may be too. If you come across a dark intersection, treat it like a four-way stop. Find more outage safety tips at les.com/safety.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Hey, Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion with Window World Lincoln. Are you ready to transform your home? We offer exceptional replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing that will elevate your home's curb appeal and value. As a nationally known, locally owned business, we treat you like family and work tirelessly to deliver the best for less. Don't wait to give your home the upgrade it deserves. Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or check out windowworldlincoln.com. Let's make your home the talk of the neighborhood.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Coy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score. Woo! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time. And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in hour 2 of Old School here on a Friday show, brought to you, as always, by the good folks over at Graham Tire Company. Appreciate them for everything they do for us here at the station. I'm Austin Norman. He is Jay Foreman. Excited to be back with you for some more high school football action tonight. We got some video of the game-winning touchdown for Lincoln Northeast, courtesy of Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star. So we spent the break poring over that film for a few minutes. But it's time to turn our attention, Jay, back to college football. Got a lot of text here on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Actually, let's get to that before we do pick them. That's fine. 6471. Love your positivity, Jay, but sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. Dylan's a pretty spoiled kid. That's just the facts. The old saying is perfect for him. It's always someone else's fault. That's his mentality.
I agree. I'm positive in the sense of, look, I know Dylan, I know Dom, I know the family. I know this is bigger than football. I'm going to wish them all the best. I'm going to tell you this right now. Do I think things on their end was handled the best? Absolutely not. Is it going to be something when he gets to my age, or maybe even the quote unquote old age or maturity age of 25, 30 years old? Will he look back on his situation and opportunity in Nebraska and probably be like, dang, I wish I would have probably done the X or A, B, and C better. You dang right he will, if he's mature. Mm-hmm. Are there things that could have happened on Nebraska's end that maybe, help that process, or, help the maturity, on their end? You dang right.
But sometimes it doesn't sink in until it sinks in.
Yeah. And so it's not about, I'm just more of a realist, and a spade is a spade. It's a byproduct of this right here. And you're 100% right, unknown texter, 6471, is that I said this before. I don't care that you're 18 years old. You're getting paid not to be a regular 18-year-old kid. That's why at times, I'm sure he was making over $1 million. That everybody said that he was making 2 or something that second year. We're paying you not to be the average 19-year-old or the 18-year-old when you come in as a freshman.
Right.
It goes for the same thing for Trey Taylor. You come in, I don't know what he's getting paid, but I know you're getting compensated very high. You're a 5-star recruit, so you can't tell me you coming in here playing for peanuts. I'm not stupid, and neither are you. So you're getting paid not to be the average freshman skill-wise. You're getting paid not to be the average freshman attitude-wise, maturity-wise. It is hard thing to do, because we never experienced it when I played, because we only had our scholarship check and we only got $20 per diem if that was it. When we got something, and sometimes we didn't even get that. So what these guys are embarking upon is there is no playbook, but that's why you have to have a good, for these universities and teams, you got to have good support system around him. You have to have people around him that have actually lived that life. If you have somebody trying to talk to them about something, they have no idea. Period. Mm-hmm. It's just point blank. It was a big deal this year, or a big deal here recently, where the University of Florida fired Brandon Spikes. Brandon Spikes knows what these guys are going through, right? He's played at the highest level. He played when they won national championships. He knows what it's like to be a Gator for life. That's what the part of the former player program that he did in the current player program, and he helped them on and off the field because he's lived it. He doesn't have to talk to you about it in kumbaya. He's telling you the truth, and they respect him. Now they let him go, and it's a big deal down there. They let Mike Peterson go. It's a big deal down there. So the new coach is starting off on the wrong foot. You have two guys that have been in that program through different regimes, but they've been helping multiple players deal with some of this stuff. So you don't have to have these situations here, or hopefully guard against it. Or you can say, you know what, we surrounded him with A, B, C, and D. We supported him with all these, and then now it becomes a personal choice why you didn't take advantage of it. And so it's next level stuff. And so all this money that you're talking about, NIL and all this other stuff, if you start investing in the players, you will see that investment come out on the field. Some places get it, some places don't, and that's why you have situations like that. And that's why you're right in 64-71. I don't really care if I'm right. I'm just telling you that's there's fault to go everywhere around. I think he'll have some regret. You'll have some because I believe in development. I think. And we'll get into the pick'ems. I know Dante Moore went that route. I think Dylan was more developed than Dante Moore at that age, in my opinion.
Fair.
Right?
Yeah.
I think Dylan played better than Dante Moore at that age.
Oh,
before
without a doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, this is me. I'm not going – if I'm going to develop, I'm going to play. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play. I'm going to come back healthy with vengeance. I'm going to play. I might have to take some accountability in doing so. They need to take accountability so we can move along because us together is better than any other combination. That would have been my mindset. So with me saying that, he's going to have a ton of regret. So however he got to, if it's everybody else's fault or I was too, headstrong or whatever it is, you'll get there. And you only can, I feel like I can say that because when you go through life, sports life and all that, sooner or later you come to the realization there were some things that you could have handled better. I always talk about, even though it's funny, the conversation that I had, I don't know if it was a conversation.
Was it a one-way conversation?
Yeah, and it was led with a bird, a middle finger with Tom Donahoe, and then I doubled down on it and popped off in the media. I didn't have any self-awareness. I knew who I was as a player. My reputation, I was a captain on every team I played on. But also didn't realize, and I should have, this is me talking, there's only two things I regret. There's one of them, is that how petty the coaches are, because even though you're a good player, bad coaches or coaches stay in the league a lot longer than you. So when they have the control, they always try to play that Uno card. Okay, and that's right. And it came out one time, where I could have went up there to maybe an intern for coaching. And then I think, potentially my agent was thinking about me going there late in my career with Greg Williams. And then eventually I made amends or whatever. And if you saw the Vince Young thing, Greg Williams, we're cool, but you could tell he was kind of like Jeff Fisher and Vince Young. Essentially why they're together. Greg is Greg, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cool. There's no hard feelings and stuff like that. And then the other one was, when I broke my leg and ankle, if I had to do it all over again, I would have just took a year off. If I had to do it all over again. And those are only two regrets I ever got. But you have to be mature enough to recognize those. One was, that last one is, you're just a competitor. Other one is being mature. I was older than Dylan then. But you can never let your emotions get in the way of business.
We'll get down to business here in just a sec. We have this from Big Hoss, though. Hey, guys, how's it going? Great. Thanks for chiming in, Big Hoss. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm tired of these college kids transferring out then saying, I'll always be a fill in the blank. In this case, Husker. I understand they got to do what they got to do for their future and all that. Good. Go get your money wherever you can get it. But once you leave the program, you're on your own. You're no longer a Husker. You're just an ex-Husker, in my opinion. How do you think through those statements from athletes when they say, I'll always be a Husker or whatever team after they transfer, Jay?
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, obviously I guess technically I'm a former Husker.
But all you were in college was a Husker.
Yeah, so I'm a former Husker and an ex-Husker. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, you choose to leave, and we talked about that with Adrian Martinez. But sometimes when you have the name and the fanfare. Adrian did an internship up there with Trev and stuff, and I think that wasn't, depending on what year or era that you played here, guys didn't feel too good about that. Because Adrian is a great kid, obviously a great player, and obviously made himself to a pretty good NFL player right now. But a lot of things were afforded to him that weren't afforded to a lot of other people. So yeah, I definitely understand that, but I also think that right now in this day and age of college football, majority of your roster is going to be turned over. Look at the NFL draft. A lot of the quarterbacks that get drafted, it's 2 or 3 stops.
Mm-hmm.
So it says much, and I think just how you leave. I think it's a big on how you leave. I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip side, it's like how it's handled on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
I've had coaches that, there's successful coaches out there that are bad people. And that's what people don't understand. There's successful coaches that are bad people. I've played for coaches that every play. Here's what I'll say: if every player hates you, it's not that the players.
There's a common denominator.
Yeah, it's not the players.
Yeah.
If you treated every single one of your players like crap, there might be some. And the ones that you did choose is because they had their nose up your butt. But majority of your players, you can't tell me every player that you treated like crap was a bad kid. You can't, or a bad player, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And sir, you went on, you could have been successful, but that's generally who you are. Now the boomerang will come back around on you. So it's kind of, goes, back and forth. I think a lot of kids that are in the portal are aggressively nudged to go in there, and it's maybe by their treatment where you're trying to get them to see the reality. Because I think legally they might not be able to cut you depending on school rules, conference rules, and all that other type of stuff. But they can definitely make it an environment. I don't like using toxic, but uncomfortable enough that you choose to go in the portal.
I will say I'm glad I'm not necessarily a college student athlete right now. Seems like there's a lot of undue pressure on these kids to make decisions. I will say, the thing that Big Hoss is talking about too, I totally understand where he's coming from, but I go back to what you said about how you leave. If it's a quote unquote business decision by the school, hey, sorry, we recruited over you, we appreciate you, good luck somewhere else, we'll help you try to find a landing spot. Don't like that necessarily, but hey, it's the way of the world, and that's where I can take the player saying, yeah, in my heart I'm always a Husker. To me, I would save something like always a Husker, always a Eagle, always a whatever. If I graduate from the university, if that's my last
post grad or something,
stop, right now, I think it's just natural. Again, the way of the world. You lose a job, you move on to a new job. Sure, you'll always think about it. It's always going to be a part of you. You are, the accumulation of your choices and the places you've been, the journeys that you've been on, and all that. And so, sure, there's always going to be a piece of you that's a Husker. But when I think of just the literal always a Husker for this example, to me, that I would rather we reserve that for people who finish their career at Nebraska in a lot of ways. You can be grateful for your time. You can say, thank you. I'll always remember this chapter of my life. So be it. My even bigger gripe, though, Jay, and this is so nitpicky, but I think it actually means something, is in all these commitment posts, I'm happy to be a part of APART as opposed to a space part.
Yeah.
If you're saying I'm happy to be a part, APART with no space, happy to not be going there, is literally what you're saying. And I know that you mean to put the space in there and autocorrect this or that, but I feel like if you're going to take the time to make a commitment graphic and a commitment post, just that one little space for someone who's a literalist makes a huge difference. If you're happy to be a part of the program, oh man, I am happy to have left that place. I'm happy to be gone. As opposed to I'm happy to be a part of this program. Like, I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah, and I think those lines are blurred. When I always say this. I think majority of kids enjoy getting recruited versus playing.
Sure.
And that's why it's such and you do have to re-recruit your roster. But I think re-recruiting your roster sometimes can this is me, right? And again, I'm not a coach or anything like that. I just think sometimes the more that you double down and kind of encourage the behavior, the less that you're going to have a team with an internal edge. You got to keep it 100% real. When you are providing everything under the sun for young athletes and young men and women and options, way more than they would have even if they were a regular student or a student athlete as somewhere else. Or if you want to just call them athletes that pay for play, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You also have to have the reality of to let them know exactly where they stand and why you're doing things, because the business is the business on both sides of the aisle now.
Mhm.
They're handling business, we're handling business. And so but the business needs to be handled, and you got to make sure you handle your business, and things generally should work out. Look, there's times, people get recruited over. There's times that good players in the NFL get drafted over. Period. Somebody falls in the draft. They draft a guy at your position. There's nothing you can do. You will end up going somewhere else. When the quarterback position, is always going to be constant turnover. The more that 7-on-7 has grown, the more that everybody is looking for the next great thing. But the same amount of guys are being drafted. Same amount of guys are failing. The same amount of guys are getting signed to these schools. The same amount, and I would say even a higher percentage of them are failing because they're not getting developed at an early age. We just saw it last night in the high school game.
Mhm.
You see it in middle school football. You see it even for there. So when you think about this as part of being a part of the team or being a part, is because from an early age they are made to think and act and be showcased that they are above of the team.
Yeah.
One of the things that one of the texters, and obviously we know this, we talked about this. One of the things, like with Dylan, right? Like, so when the team used to come out, he'd come out before. What would that be? Are you a part of the team or apart from the team?
It was a part.
Those are little things that reign big, right? When Patrick Mahomes runs out there, listen, I played against Peyton Manning. Now, he ran out there like probably first or whatever because he was leading the team out there, but he ran out there with him.
With a yard of separation, not 15 yards.
Not any yard. I mean, he would just come, but he would just come sprinting out of there. It was like he's leading his guys out there, leading with them, not apart from them. So those are just things that you have to learn. And it's part of these young kids that, a lot of things that you see on the field that are either successful or not all come from this.
Mm-hmm.
What happens on the field, I wouldn't say it's a small part, but there's a lot of things. There's a lot of moving parts to get to it.
Yeah.
Everybody has talent,
Mhm.
right? And everybody talks about the talent. And there was there was time of the talent gap, but that was just more just like some staffs that were here that didn't want to recruit. So the talent gap, like nobody has a perfect team anymore. When you look at some of those Alabama teams, maybe even someone we played and the Miami team, everybody has like little holes in their team, right? You just don't have a whole bunch of like first round, like 22, 44 first round picks there. You're just obliterating everybody, right?
No.
So the talent gap's there. Your talent gap isn't there. Now you got to learn how to develop the talent, but more it's like a lot of mental. Are you able to push guys? If you're not able to push in players that don't want to get pushed, when you get into tight games, you will break. Period. There's no way. Football is a very unique sport, and I'm sure there's other ones. Baseball is more mental. You got to be willing to deal with failure like it's success, because you can have a great at bat, but Randy Johnson is pitching to you. You could foul Randy Johnson off 4 times and maybe add 6 pitches to his pitch count, and then he throws 110 miles an hour fastball and you barely miss it, right? Or you nub it down to the catcher and he throws you out. That's actually a pretty good at bat, right? Then you might get a hit. So you go 1 for 4 against Randy Johnson, but you had 2 really good at bats. But you laid the foundation for Austin Norman to come and get the game winning.
You go yard off Randy Johnson.
Right.
Totally real things that definitely happen.
In your mind, it can happen. It can happen.
It can
if
happen.
There's a percentage, it can happen. So if you're not able to push guys there physically and mentally, you have a weak team.
All right, 10 minutes to get down to business with these picks. Eric
All right.
says, I heard Jay's going to join Farley in his pick-em game. Beat his butt, Jay. Farley deserves a large slice of humble pie. Thompson Lincoln, Jay. Farley said you won't be able to beat him in pick'ems, and Farley needs to be humbled. So let's get to this.
All right, yeah, let's
put
get down
T.
like
Farley
Charlie Brown
in his place. We will go chronologically with these week 0 games. We have 8 of them. Jay, I need your winner, and I need your team against the spread for these picks. First matchup in Dublin, Ireland, North Carolina and TCU. Horned Frogs favored by 8.5 points.
Bill Belichick's looking for revenge, getting embarrassed. I'm going TCU and the spread.
Ooh.
And the spread.
I'm in lockstep with you. I think Horned Frog's big. Just way too much drama out of Chapel
that's
Hill
what I was
for me.
saying. And Stephen Belichick is suspended too.
Yeah.
It's a D court. Now your fallback is Bill Belichick.
Right.
Yeah.
There's too much drama going on in Chapel Hill for my, well, there's enough drama going on in Chapel Hill for my liking, but in terms of picking them to win or cover, I don't see it. Next game of the day will feature a Big Ten team. It's San Jose State traveling down the coast to get to Los Angeles to take on USC. Get in price for this game, $12 at the Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. USC favored 38.5, over under of 61.5.
Oof. I'm going USC. Obviously to win. Man, 39 points. Gary Patterson. Mike Eckler as well.
Spartans or Trojans? Who covers?
I'll go Trojans.
USC by 40? USC by 40? Are we doing this in week 0?
They're trying to make a statement. If there ever is a time to make a statement, put people on notice, Lincoln Riley, this is it right now.
USC by 40? Yeah, I'm right there with you, though. I mean, it's statement
They
time.
should beat them like
It's do or die.
63 like to 10.
Yeah. Which would be 53 points.
Yeah,
and cover
they
for
should
USC.
beat these guys 63 to 10.
Week 0, ACC matchup, North Carolina State and Virginia. The line on this one being played in Charlottesville, 2:30 kickoff. UVA by 4. Virginia, double-digit game winner last year, ultimately fell short in the ACC championship. DD, my friend.
I'm going North Carolina State upset, and obviously they're gonna obviously Virginia's not gonna cover.
Okay. So far we are 3 for 3 in alignment. I just think Virginia got a little too lucky last year. They were an old team. They do reload through the transfer portal. I think Tony Elliott's a good coach, not a great coach. I like Dave Doran in NC State, kind of the Iowa of the ACC in a lot of ways, that defense focus. I think Virginia's ripe for upset, though. I really do. They had their magical year last year in a lot of ways. I'm rolling with the Wolfpack. We will move on, Jay. Jacksonville State and North Dakota State, their first game as a member of the Football Bowl Subdivision FBS level. This game being played in the Fargo Dome, and the Bison are 7-point favorites over Jacksonville State.
Ooh. Jacksonville State I became a fan when they walked off against Florida State a couple of years ago in Tallahassee. But I think it's just a little bit too far from Bama up there to Fargo.
Okay.
And Fargo's got some weapons. I'm going to go with North Dakota State to win and cover.
I will go North Dakota State to win. I think it takes some heroics late. I think that it's just first game. It jitters for North Dakota State. I will take Jacksonville State to cover this one, but I do think there's a little bit of a Hollywood storybook start to things for North Dakota State. What an experiment. I'm glad we're finally getting to see this, Jay. It's been, the program that's been rumored for that jump for the longest time with their dominance. Obviously, James Madison made the transition before they did, but it's here. It's upon us. Let's see what the Bison got.
Let's do it.
We go to Sacramento State and Eastern Michigan. That's our next game. This game being played in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Eastern Michigan is a 9.5-point favorite over Sac State.
Sacramento State got a lot of money in flux, but I don't know how good their football program is yet. A year away, going on the road to Eastern Michigan. I don't know much about Eastern Michigan. I think you're going to give them the I'm going to say they're going to win. I don't think they're going to cover.
So Sac State does go on the road and cover?
Yep.
Okay. We're in alignment there as well. Eastern Michigan has really developed into a pretty consistent bowl program.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if I think it's still Coach Creighton up there that is able to parlay that into maybe like a Mountain West job in the near future.
And they got some cool uniforms too.
Oh,
I like that color.
The slate gray, a little bit green with them. Left Coast game. Hawaii travels to the mainland. Get in price $16 at Stanford Stadium on the farm. How about this? The Bows just 4-point dogs on the farm in year one of a new regime. Frank Reich ain't walking through that door. He's too busy trying to salvage the Jets at this point. 1 year stopover for him under Andrew Luck's regime there as general manager. Hawaii and Stanford 4-point favorites.
Hawaii upset them last year.
Yes.
At Hawaii.
Yes.
Andrew Luck didn't like that. even though he was over there having some Mai Tais and all that, right? Right. I'm going Stanford not only to win, but they're definitely going to cover. Smart guys' revenge. They already have it all calculated out on the farm.
And see, this is where I wouldn't be shocked to see Hawaii do it again. Game 1, new coaching staff, transitional game. I just have a sense.
You doubting Andrew Luck?
I'm not doubting Andrew Luck. I'm doubting that Stanford coaching staff and the talent there on that team. So I'm taking the Bows. I'm taking Hawaii to win and obviously then to cover. New Mexico State and Florida State. Jay, Mike Norvell opens the season as 31.5-point favorites there at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. 6 o'clock game on the CW, New Mexico State and Florida State.
Florida State to win. That's a lot of points for them to cover. Tony White's defense has got to rebound a little bit. The Fighting Jerry Keels do they go on the road again? Not only I guess cover would be a bootleg a win. I'm going to go, you know what? Florida State, the first games we saw them, I'm going to go with Florida State's going to cover too.
They did beat Alabama as recently as 1 year ago.
Yeah, they'll be prepared, like over-prepared. So I think they'll play well. And they're at the crib. Tomahawk chop.
Knowles by 32?
Knowles blooded.
Okay.
Travis Johnson, I got your back, my brother.
And if it doesn't work out, Travis, you OJ.
That's right. I'll see him in October too.
I'll take the Knowles straight up and to cover as well. Final game to get to then, Jay, of 8, Memphis and UNLV. This game being played at the home of the Raiders, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Technically a neutral site, obviously much closer to the home of the Rebs than the Tigers. Rebels 4.5-point favorites over Memphis. They lose head coach Ryan Silverfield to Arkansas over the offseason. Call your shot.
I'm going Memphis to win and obviously cover. No more Anthony Calandria that made up for all your mishaps. Was essentially a one-man gang. He's here at Nebraska. It's too much to overcome, even though Dan Mullen has done a really good job. He's actually had a good job of replacing him in the portal. I'm going Memphis. I shouldn't even be picking anything from Memphis, but I think Memphis is going to go down there and represent to the fullest.
I'm going to take UNLV to win. I'm going to take Memphis to cover. I think it ends up being a relatively tight
1 or 2 point game.
Yeah, maybe a walk-off field goal for UNLV, someone in there, maybe a late touchdown to cover for Memphis, whatever it is. I think being that close to home, I think the bright lights, big city feel will end up getting to Memphis, who will be happy to not be in Memphis for a game at this point. But I think there's still enough talent there. I think Coach Silverfield did a good job creating that base. But I think UNLV has its sights set, Jay, and Memphis does as well. But UNLV, I think, is one of the early front runners for that group of 5 college football playoff spot. They pushed Boise State.
Yeah,
they have for the last couple of years, really. Gave the Broncos a better game than pretty much anyone in the conference.
Nolan is going to have something to say about that.
He might.
Air
Nolan.
Nolan from College Park, Georgia, is going to have something to say about that down in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Let's go.
Jay Foreman's planted his flag. Terrell Farley, you're up this afternoon. Let's see what you got. Bill and Bennett, appreciate you chiming in. Well, keep the college football conversation rolling after this. BYU has changed its power structure. Kalani Sitake is not reporting to the athletic director anymore. What is brewing in Provo? We'll get to that as we continue Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Good work, good people, good community. That's what Shuizo Construction is built on. For over 40 years, we've been constructing commercial spaces across Lincoln and showing up for the community long after the last brick is laid. We're growing our team, and we're looking for hardworking people who want to be part of something that they're proud of. Come build with us at shuizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Highs level off around 88 today, under partly cloudy skies. Winds out of the south, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy again tonight, lows around 73. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow, highs around 96. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster. Right now, it's 75 degrees.
Nutrition Authority invites you to enjoy internet-crushing prices in the back-to-school blowout. We already offer better than internet pricing, but from Monday, August 24th through Saturday, August 29th, we're slashing them even deeper. The back-to-school blowout on Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of that at the Smokehouse at Super Savor in Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors and smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausage for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, and smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor in Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket.
Halfway home on Old School on a Friday. Appreciate everyone who's tuned into the show.
I don't mean to cut you off, though.
Okay.
You want to know another reason why I'm picking Memphis? You don't even know why. They don't even look up there. Stop looking up there.
That's just where I was. I'm getting inspiration from the next gen board.
This isn't first 48. Where I can't even tell you. I have a friend that's an interrogator. You can always tell when somebody's lying. You weren't lying there, but you don't know. Alante Brown is still in college football, and he's on Memphis.
Excuse you.
Alante Brown.
Alante Nutshot Helicopter, former Nebraska Husker, Michigan State Spartan Brown?
Yes, sir. Yes,
that
sir.
guy?
Yes, sir.
Is still in college football?
Still in college football.
This is news to me.
That's the must-watch Saturday night. Memphis is going to represent. I'm just telling you. Memphis is going to represent. I'm just telling you.
Okay. All right. I'm happy to be wrong.
Memphis is Lincoln Northeast. UNLV is East. Yo, I can't even. I mean, I know we're jumping all over the place. Yo, some of the people's faces in the conversation as I walked to the car last night.
Oh, man.
Was diabolical. Did you get? Did you? I mean, because sometimes after big games, I just like to walk slow and just listen.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I sit in the car and just roll the window down and just it's a nightmare over there. That is a moment of silence at Lincoln East right now. Listen, the stank eye. People just looking at it. You really lost Northeast last night? I was there. Yeah.
Did you make your 7 o'clock phone call?
Actually, he called me last night.
Really?
Yeah.
He got out in front of it.
Yeah, and I was a good friend. I was just listening to him vent. Yeah. He, you know how they say control the narrative?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Getting out in front of it, control the narrative.
That's exactly what he was doing.
Like a mug?
Yeah, he was controlling the narrative. Hey, this was what happened, but this is what happened. Yeah,
but what we won't hear from the media is that.
Yeah. So now we're moving on.
To BYU, to Provo we go. Woo-hoo. Where there might be a power struggle brewing, as BYU is moving oversight of the football program to the school's vice president away from its athletic director. So this is from the Deseret News. Head football coach Kalani Sitake will report directly to a university vice president, while athletic director Brian Santiago will oversee the remaining 20 programs. The decision's dramatic timing 9 days before the season's first football game underscores both the hurtling rate of change in college sports and rumors about friction between Sitake and Santiago. Brian Santiago, the athletic director there at BYU, and of course, head coach Kalani Sitake, who's won about 2/3 of his games, 84 and 45 in his tenure as an alum at BYU. The big move in general, Jay, it's a big move 9 days before the season starts, and a big move in light of everything BYU went through to keep Kalani Sitake there in Provo and not dipping for Penn State.
Yeah, it's crazy that he was rumored at Penn State. That just didn't seem like it ever going to be a fit, but he's a great coach. And they obviously had a great run last year. And over years, he's been a great coach since he's been there. And they moving it, having an earth to bring him back. Not really, but it was just kind of like, all right, we're going to actually really step up and do the things we need to do for you to continue to be successful. But the small print, the wink print, that pay Chizek, that upgrade of that first wire. Yeah. Them conversations that we had last year, I'm going up top. It's interesting when you bring a coach back to, in this case, obviously to a very, wealthy contract, how that changes the power structure, the communication structure. Now, granted, we've seen this at times in the NFL. Actually, we just saw it with the Giants. Where, obviously Harbaugh goes, can go anytime he wants to get something really done. You can go right up to the owner. Mm-hmm. Listen, I always talk about it. When Reuben Brown jacked up that coach in the NFL, he went right up to Ralph Wilson, and none of them plays went in that week. All right. Thurman Thomas and Andre Reed and Bruce Smith, now rightfully so. But just there's some players that go right up to the head man. We've seen it with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft when Bill Belichick wanted to, trade or get rid of Tom Brady and go with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. So
this is no different. Now, it's just because it's reported and it's BYU. Would this be something different in, a real, like, I guess I can't say a real power for a school, but just like a blue blood? That's just the way it goes. Right?
Sure. To an extent. I mean, it's still weird.
It is weird.
This doesn't necessarily happen, especially because a lot of this, Jay, comes from Sitake having said, hey, where's the money? The Deseret article says, Sataki, without naming names or making specific requests, called publicly for additional investment in the school's flagship sport to help it get over the hump and into the college football playoff. He said on ESPN The Fan back in July, there's so much that really can be accomplished, and it's really low-hanging fruit stuff. The fact that we're this close to making the playoff, it's like, come on, let's not make the same mistakes we've made in the past. Let's keep investing in BYU football, and it doesn't take much. Really funny to hear from the Mormon Money School, where you have that nationwide network, all the money that they've been pouring in. I mean, it was
basketball.
To basketball.
Yeah.
And that leads me to why invest in basketball and not football. Football's the big money maker. You're on the verge of winning the Big 12. I mean, that BYU team put all that money in, finished, fifth, sixth in the Big 12 in basketball last year with DeBonsa, with Rob Wright, who they got to transfer from Baylor. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to invest more into football, but you're also probably going to get more back in case you do it.
Yeah, and look, one of the quotes said it's resources, it's support, it's flexibility. Compensation comes in different forms.
Okay.
Right? And so that means you need to do more that, we need to do what everybody else is doing, not only financially, but also support-wise. And that might be more additional money and options that have, support staff or consultants or whatever you want to call it. And so, look, when you're the flagship program at BYU, right? And that's football, and has been for quite some time.
Yeah.
And sure, DeBance's a great player, but somehow, some way, you're paying him in between $6 or $8 million, or which was reported, right? On top of the other players that you were paying, just like that, and they call it from the war chest, right?
Yeah,
that's what they're. I think that's what they're. NIL or whatever it is, right? It's the war chest.
Yeah.
Just imagine that you just got $20 million out of there, and I'm asking for this, and you're like, "Oh, we'll get back to you." I'm
the more established coach at my alma mater,
and I've outperformed my contract, and now you have Penn. The only reason I got the money that you just paid me so readily like that is because Penn State was knocking on my door. I had to go all the way out there and really look towards it. Yeah, you see why he's like, all right, well, you were supposed to be helping me with this. You know what I'm saying? Since you didn't help me with this, I helped myself. I'm going to talk to the powers that be. I'll get back to you.
It's not you'll get back to me. I will get back to you.
Because it's a trust factor. Where were you doing? Why was it so easy for you to help out basketball and not help out me when I've been able to through a conference realignment or change, right? And find a way to outperform, what the expectations were. Because you got to think just not last year or the year before, or one of the first years up there, they were picked towards the bottom of the Big 12, and they finished towards the top.
Yeah.
And they had that, I think the great game. I think it was at Florida they played them a really, really close game, a couple years ago or whatever game it was. They've been on and done some things to create the brand to somewhat be national within their reasons. And now he's demanding the support because he's like, we're so close. And also, I think they see blood in the water. Texas Tech is wounded. You don't have a quarterback. They feel like they are more capable to upset Texas Tech. Like the Kansas State lost their coach, so they're in transition, right? Oklahoma State, new coach, right? You feel good if you have to go play TCU. Baylor, you feel like
Houston,
they feel like, oh, this is our opportunity to not only get a college football playoffs, let's make some noise. And I need the support. And it's not just financially, because I had to really scratch and claw and get it away from you guys. Now I need more of the other things that everybody else has.
And I can't imagine BYU firing this guy because, he did ultimately extend Sataki. Football's been good under his watch. Basketball is back, right? Even without Jimmer Fredette, it wasn't a once-in-a-lifetime run. BYU's proven that they're going to be a tough out in a absolutely loaded, stacked Big 12 basketball conference. And apparently they also had 4 track athletes win national championships from this article. And so I wonder, this is also from the article, which was interesting. BYU formerly had one athletic director to oversee men's sports, one athletic director to oversee women's sports. So they've always had some interesting setups.
Yeah.
This guy, Santiago's been there for 15 months is all. But with the money he was able to find or conjure for basketball with some other successful programs as well, I have a hard time believing they would fire him just over football. But I think, Jay, you can extrapolate this out a little bit. I wonder how much the college football playoff committee and those decision makers are watching this to see how it operates at BYU. Hey, what does it look like when football's on its own? What does it look like for us to continue to govern college football and dictate the whims of college football on our own, especially in the postseason outside of the umbrella of the NCAA?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's watching just because obviously when you have a big time coach and his paycheck has now elevated him up into conversations that he wasn't previously in, and how their power structure is working and how he handles it as well, because that kind of can give you a forecast how things can go in a bigger broader scale. So, look, you're up in Provo, not a lot going on, but that's big news coming out there. Not only made national news, but then also can really, people wherever their NCAA is at, they can take a lot of notes and see what they want to do moving forward.
They don't call it amateur vote, folks. They call it pro vote. A lot of money being splashed around. So
on the sneak.
Speaking of a lot of money being splashed around, how about Nebraska Volleyball? They win Spikes Under the Lights last night. Look good in doing it. And I did some Zapruder filming. I might have determined Nebraska's starting lineup from the workout video they posted yesterday. Some Nebraska headlines wrapping up hour 2.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Why did Pete Ricketts spend millions to get himself appointed to the U.S. Senate? Ricketts knows D.C. is pay to play. Since going to D.C., Ricketts has increased his net worth almost 30%. He voted to lower his own taxes and made a killing dumping shares before a looming government shutdown. Meanwhile, he's opposed every serious attempt to ban congressional stock trading. Nebraskans can't afford lawmakers enriching themselves while our costs go through the roof. Tell Senator Ricketts to support the Ban Congressional Stock Trading Act now. This communication paid for by Nebraska Groundswell.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Good work, good people, good community. That's what Schweitzer Construction is built on. For over 40 years, we've been constructing commercial spaces across Lincoln and showing up for the community long after the last brick is laid. We're growing our team, and we're looking for hardworking people who want to be part of something that they're proud of. Come build with us at schwizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish. No mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery and the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Nutrition Authority invites you to enjoy internet crushing prices in the back-to-school blowout. We already offer better than internet pricing, but from Monday, August 24th through Saturday, August 29th, we're slashing them even deeper. The back-to-school blowout on Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket.
Wrapping up hour 2 of Old School, big thanks to the folks at Schwezo Construction for helping sponsor Old School. At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Schwezo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back on and off the job site. Apply today at Schwezo.com. 40-plus years strong in business, Schwezo Construction. Nebraska Volleyball, $350,000 richer after 2 wins last night. A couple tight sets against Florida. Huskers win that best of 3 to 21 in 2 sets. Then Nebraska takes down SMU in a little bit more dominant fashion. A little bit of revenge on the mind for Nebraska from a couple of years ago. SMU, unranked, swept top 5 Nebraska down at the Moody Coliseum there in Dallas just a couple of years ago. Fun night, fun performance from Nebraska Volleyball. Jay, didn't look like they missed a beat over the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pressure on them. They're, fighting their biggest opponent, which is themselves, and then the magnitude of the moment when you get into the NCAA tournament, try to complete this national championship mission. But you had some teams you needed a little get back on. Obviously, Florida is obviously a well-respected and well-rounded program. You beat the brakes off of them, and then you're able to kind of finish it off, in the I guess they call it the championship, and do it again and pick up a little change. And so the traveling carnival is on its way to Vegas, and then eventually at Wrigley Field. So I think, look, give the athletic department and obviously Coach Danny a lot of credit, and obviously and the players of the ability to be successful enough to where you're a national brand that you can go do these things, and it's obviously very fruitful because of the NIL impact and all that stuff. It's pretty much free money based on your skill set, but also to have the support of the athletic department and the support staff to be able to set these things up, and then you're able to go perform. So, I mean, I think it's not just about what they were able to do or the compensation. It's all the whole support that we just talked about with the BYU situation. You want to be able to put your athletes, student athletes, men or women, in the best position possible.
And how about this, Jay? The best part for Nebraska volleyball heading to Vegas, they can watch Aaron Noland and Alante Brown if they take care of business quickly.
Yeah,
it's a 5 o'clock first serve and a 7 o'clock
kickoff,
get
right over there. Yeah,
Mountain Time.
Yeah, go ahead. Just take quick 45-minute, do some 15-minute, media stuff, 15-minute Uber, and go over there and watch that game over there, and then get on the plane and come back and do it again.
We'll end the hour with this from Nebraska men's basketball. Put out an off-season video like they do. Pretty cool video that they were able to put out. Hype video from Nebraska volleyball, by the way. If you haven't had a chance to see it, check out Bergen Riley's social media. But Jay, I did some sleuthing through the video, and 5 players featured in red jerseys for the most part: Trevin Lenhart, Price Sanford, Braden Frager, Sam Orm, and Bowden Kepke.
There you go.
Really no surprises there.
Snow Patrol mount up.
The players in white jerseys that were featured: Cale Jacobson, Damon Wilkinson, Taj DeGorville, and Jacob Lanier.
I like it. I mean,
kind of what you'd expect.
Yeah, it's kind of what you expect. And, how they flow together is going to be interesting because it's a lot bigger team, obviously, with Lenhart, obviously, being a little bit bigger than Hoiberg. And let's see what they come with their skill-wise. And more importantly, the best skill that they have is the continuity and the connectedness that they have.
And of course, this is an off-season video. Disclaimer: that is not the official starting lineup, but it wouldn't.
But it's not the official starting lineup. But I will tell you this: you're working the kinks out. You're trying to get that rhythm together. You want them to spend time together, but more importantly, that time on the court together is imperative, especially when you lose some really good players and, more importantly, great leaders in that program.
The best part of that video, though, definitely came at the end. It was after some conditioning. They show Nebraska getting up and back. They show the shot of poor Henry Burt, who spent the better part of 4 years just hanging around there at the end of the bench. He's gotten spot minutes at time. Poor Henry Burt, coming off the injury last year, they made that man run.
Yeah.
He's not going to play.
That's all right, though. But you know what? His big job right now is obviously if he gets in a non-con, you want to make sure that you show yourself well. But more importantly, you're competing against one of the better teams in the nation. So the look squad is just as important as the starting lineup.
All right, back to football we go. We'll talk some eligibility stuff, but some NFL trade rumors, some backup quarterbacks there have been some calls about across the league. We'll tell you who those backup quarterbacks are, some potential landing spots, and if the teams should even give these quarterbacks up. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. This is Old School. Hour 3 straight ahead.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they're committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perchmerch.com.
Nutrition Authority invites you to enjoy internet-crushing prices in the back-to-school blowout. We already offer better than internet pricing, but from Monday, August 24th through Saturday, August 29th, we're slashing them even deeper. The back-to-school blowout on Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
Do you ever feel okay in your current job and profession, but wonder if there's a better company that can offer more? Vision Mechanical is now hiring for journeyman plumbers and HVAC service technicians. Vision Mechanical offers top-of-the-industry wages, 100% paid health, disability, and life insurance, 401k with employee match, and paid holidays and vacation. Vision Mechanical believes in craftsmanship, teamwork, and building a better future, one project at a time. Apply today or learn more at visionmechanical.net or email Ron at vmech.net.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs, quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside's margaritas and old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils. Hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
The crack of the bat. Sizzling concessions. Yeah, that's the sound of summer at Haymarket Park. It's been that way for 25 seasons. And in this city, it's not a matter of if you'll catch a game, it's how many.
Safe.
That's because there's always something in play for Salt Dogs fans. From saluting our troops to Friday night fireworks, your local tradition plays on. Let's show summer how Lincoln celebrates 25 seasons. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln. This is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln. Your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Hour 3 of Old School, taking you up to your lunch hour. I'm Austin. He's Jay. Thanks for joining the show here on a beautiful, bright Friday morning. We expect it to be a beautiful, clear Friday evening as well for high school football at Seacrest Field. We were on the call last night for Northeast and East. We'll be back there again tonight for Lincoln Southeast and Millard West. Big thanks to Graham Tire for their sponsorship of the show. Check them out all across Lincoln and the Midwest. It's Graham Tire getting you to the places that matter most. 402-464-5685 if you'd like to be a part of the show, be part of the conversation. We would love to hear from you as always. Jay, saw this from Benjamin Albright, who's Broncos insider for KOA in Colorado. That's the Broncos flagship station there, I believe, in Denver. And he says, in talking to people around the league, there have been multiple quarterbacks, typically backups, who have had calls about them with varying degrees of interest. The 4, Tua Tagovailoa, Dylan Gabriel, J.J. McCarthy, and Anthony Richardson. Now, we'll start with Dylan Gabriel. We've talked to plenty of Browns this week. Big Hoss says, after the game that Dylan Gabriel had yesterday, the Browns ought to trade Shedeur Sanders to the couch. And Big Hoss has been anti-Shedeur for a while here on our Starter Human Jewelers text line. What about the performance Dylan Gabriel had? Opening some eyes or just a late preseason mirage?
I mean, I think he did a little bit of both. I mean, I think if he has a good agent, I think his agent was or should have been in keeping him well informed of where you're at. This is the importance of this game. Sometimes playing well in the preseason doesn't just benefit you with the team that you're on. It benefits you around the NFL. And so for him, he made himself some money, or at least created an opportunity for him for the rest of this season, maybe the next year, and hopefully the future. And he plays a long time in the NFL. And so, look, at the end of the day, man, he's not better than Shedeur. He never has and never actually will be. But what he can be is a stopgap starter and a serviceable backup, and he showed that last night. If I'm him and his agent, and there's teams out there that are interested, I am getting the heck out of Cleveland. I'm getting to a winning organization that really has shown the ability in coaches to develop quarterbacks and somebody like me, and then go there and engulf yourself in that and keep preparing like a starter and move forward. Of those four, Tua, Gabriel, McCarthy, Richardson, I'm either trying to get Gabriel or Richardson. Both Richardson has the biggest upside. He's actually played decent this preseason.
He has, which makes the Colts less likely to want to trade him. But
right.
Of course, he's still going to want out.
And he has a huge contract. It's a rookie contract, but you're pick number 4. That's a big salary cap hit.
Didn't pick up his extension the year.
Yeah, for them, and then they already signed Jones back to it's a pretty hefty deal, and they have Leonard too, right?
Yeah.
Riley Leonard,
who has not been good this preseason, but kept him in games at the end of last year.
Right, but the salary cap ramifications of getting rid of Richardson to a place that is quarterback needy. Mm-hmm. Those are my 2 picks. Tua, he just needs to stay in Atlanta and help Michael Penix, and then try to start over and go to somewhere else, and maybe the Chargers with Mike McDaniel and be a backup.
We need to address what Ian Rappaport said about Tua Tagovailoa.
I know. It's bad.
It was not good. The line from Ian Rappaport, he said, Tua Tagovailoa's play has made the plan to make him the starter at the beginning of the season impossible. It's an alarming sign for not just in the preseason.
Just say that again.
Ian Rappaport believes
it is impossible for you to play.
Tua Tagovailoa's play has made the plan to make him the starter at the beginning of the season impossible.
It's not.
And think about this: Penix has been out. Yeah. He hasn't played. Tua lost a one-man quarterback competition
against himself. Heck, they were talking about the backup guy that came in there. That they want him. The people in Atlanta want him. I mean, everybody loves a backup quarterback, but I think Tua has been flat out garbage. You saw the meme that Michael Penix was behind Tua and was like, "This guy, this is who you brought in." But I don't even think Michael Penix was actually doing that. I think somebody was trying to get their attention. He was like, "Do you want him?" But
yeah.
Either way.
But it's funny in the context of how poor that quarterback competition has been. I will give Atlanta at least a little bit of credit for figuring out their type. They move on from statue Kirk Cousins to a pair of lefty quarterbacks who are best in the pocket. So at least they figured out, they have a type.
Yeah, but they don't know which one. I think the GM and the owner had some strife, and then with the previous head coach, and it's actually set Atlanta back. And obviously, sign Kirk Cousins, and you turn around and draft Michael Penix. Not only the salary cap money, but also shows that you guys can't make a decision on quarterback, let alone defensive end with Pearson getting in trouble. So these backup quarterbacks are a big issue, and obviously, it's a positive for them. They'll have places to go. And you know what? I feel for J.J. McCarthy a little bit, not much because he uses the hard R, but to be honest, look. He came in from Michigan. He had shown enough life that they were going to start him before he got hurt. This is the crazy thing about Kevin O'Connell. You were going to start him his rookie year. Then obviously fell out of favor. Didn't play well last year. You go to Kyler Murray, and I think it's some immaturity stuff with J.J. McCarthy. But then he was able to somewhat embrace the competition and raise his level of play. I don't think you get rid of him if you're Minnesota. I think if I'm J.J. McCarthy, I just sit there and wait.
I mean, there's so few places that will actually take time to try to develop a young quarterback. I know your coach is pissed at you, but prove that you can put the alter ego aside. Prove that you're willing to come to work. And Kevin O'Connell has proven he will get you better.
And he's gotten better. Now, there's things that J.J. McCarthy has to embrace, right? So that's where I think the conflict is with Kevin O'Connell. Yeah. Kevin O'Connell is a really easygoing guy. If he's telling you could throw interceptions in practice and you're an offensive coach, he's going to get you right because he understands the position because he used to play the position.
Yeah.
But if I'm JJ McCarthy, I try to be the best teammate I can. I try to actually go like above and beyond to be a good support system for Kyler Murray. I want everybody on the team to see that because I'm banking on sooner or later I will be in there.
Yeah.
Either by his play or circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I get to play, a la like Bryce down there in Carolina, Bryce Young, now he's the franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin O'Connell, you look like the bad guy. Just in a matter of 6 or 7 weeks, however long it takes. Because if Kyler Murray gets out there skipping balls to Justin Jefferson, and I've been working on my game, and I've been showing some maturity, and I get in there and show some life. Like
and I'm playing Madden instead of Call of Duty, so I'm coaching in the playbook.
And I'm in there, and I'm being, that rightfully so. I mean, we've seen it here actually when I was in Nebraska. I mean, obviously Brooke and Tommy Frazier were great. Tommy was obviously head and shoulders the better player, but the way Brooke handled himself in the locker room and off the field has allowed him to be on legendary status.
I like that comparison you make with Bryce Young. A little bit different because of the different quarterbacks that Carolina brought in was Andy Dalton, who I think was less of a viable option than Kyler Murray is at this point for the Vikings. Yeah. But the same kind of concept applies. High draft pick, not as high for McCarthy, but still first rounder.
Wasn't really sold on him.
After very long.
Even though Kevin O'Connell was actually sold on him, then unsold him. But
it's more
out of favor.
Player, right?
Yeah.
And those things happen. And I would argue that going into this season, J.J. McCarthy would have a better supporting cast than Bryce Young did with his breakout. I mean, who'd you rather have, Justin Jefferson or Tet McMillan? I mean, that's not a question. Who would you rather have, Adam Thielen or Xavier Legette? Again, is it really a question? Yeah, J.C. Horn's a good corner, but Minnesota's a little bit more well-rounded and versatile on defense. So I think J.J. McCarthy's in a better situation. Now, there's a reason that Bryce Young was the pick that he was, there at the top of the first round as opposed to the late part of the top of the first round. And so you saw more in college from Bryce Young, the playmaking that he showed at Alabama as well. But there's a heck of a situation for J.J. McCarthy if he's able to lock in and improve. It could all be set up for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, it's just look, man, there's only one quarterback that can play in high school, college, and the pros.
Mm-hmm.
And he really hasn't had a chance to really get busy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to think, he gets hurt. He lost all that weight. When he was hurt and he's going through stuff, you go from being a national champion, you go from a first round pick, and then you get hurt first time in the NFL, a lot of pressure. The Vikings didn't reach expectations. Then Sam Darnold plays out of his mind. So now that's in the back of your mind. Then, they let Sam Darnold go. Here comes the pressure to you.
Yeah.
The team wasn't very good last year. Offensive line was shaky at best. Defense really, really good. Aaron Jones was hurt. So there were some things that, weren't like all set up for him to be successful. And then he needed to rapidly mature. And then all of a sudden now you think, okay, can I get another chance at actually being healthy? Meaning a full off season, but not only in the weight room, no rehab, but trying to connect with the receivers. Justin Jefferson was frustrated with you till he voiced it that you need to actually grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Kyler Murray, and you're like, you're just handing him the starting spot. It's a competition, really not.
In name only.
So you understand it. But also, if you, like I said, about how I handled that situation, granted, I was able to go on and play like 4 or 5 more years out, but I would like to play 5 more years past that, right? Physically, I wasn't able to, but at least have the option to say no. But for him, if he handles it right and you get another opportunity, Sam Darnold has shown you. Bryce Young is showing you. Baker Mayfield has shown you.
Daniel Jones
has shown you, right?
Jared Goff
has shown you how you deal with adversity at one spot. And with Kevin O'Connell, they can change it. Because the better that if you get the opportunity to play, the better that you play, it helps out Kevin O'Connell. What he's saying or what he needs from you isn't personal. It's just personally doing with how you're playing the game of football.
Kevin O'Connell's not going to let J.J. McCarthy get him fired.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell is not like Bill Belichick. He doesn't cross the line of personal.
Mm-hmm.
He's a former player.
Former Belichick player.
Belichick player. But then also he was on the bad end of Hard Knocks with Rob Ryan and him.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm mentioning him being as a former player, he was not a high draft choice. He wasn't a franchise quarterback. he knows what it's like
Mm-hmm.
in that locker room. He's one of the guys. When the backup quarterbacks are one of the guys, they hang out with the linemen, they hang out with the receivers, the tight ends, and the defensive guys. They spend a lot of time during practice with the defensive guys because they have to run the plays and run the other team's offense.
Yeah.
So he's one of the guys. So you have to be one of the guys. That's what JJ's missing. If he takes care of that, he can be a viable player, kind of like Bryce Young. Is Bryce Young Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes? Nope. But he's the best quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, and the ownership believes in him.
Mm-hmm.
And the head coach is starting to believe in him, or has to believe in him, because what did he do? He dealt with adversity. And now the Red Raider was never better than him, but he dealt with it like a champion.
Mm-hmm.
He went back on how he was essentially raised in college with Nick Saban. And once he got his other opportunity, cardiac kids or whatever you want him, he led him to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if anything negative comes from the head coach towards Bryce Young, that's realistic or unrealistic, actually, is an indictment on the head coach. JJ McCarthy has a great opportunity. Tua, not so much. I don't know what's up with Tua. He looks like he doesn't study his playbook. Seriously, he plays like a quarterback that just kind of looks at the cliff notes of his playbook. He looks unprepared. He looks undertrained. He looks weak. Now, granted,
he's been through some
stuff. So he might not never be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Vontaze Burfict said the same thing. He might not be. Antonio Brown is not the same. Those hits that, look, I've given hits and I've taken hits. Obviously, I've had some issues with, some of the stuff from football. A lot of the stuff from football. But those things that that the way that Miami, that might be a big part of why he's not playing like up to the way he had been playing.
Mm-hmm.
He went from a franchise quarterback to a
putting up
quarterback
4,500-yard passing seasons,
right, to a quarterback that might be on the couch soon or in the studio.
Yeah,
being an analyst in studio analyst.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. It really is for Tua Tagovailoa. But Jay, we got this report in the last 15 minutes or so out of Pittsburgh, out of Steelers camp. The headline: McCarthy says all 4 Steelers quarterbacks have earned spots. Mike McCarthy, for the first time in his career, might be carrying 4 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster into the regular season. There'll be Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph, and then both Will Howard and Drew Aller. How common is it for an NFL team to carry 4 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster? What would that do for the cascading effects down the roster for Pittsburgh?
It's not normal at all. They used to be able to, put you on the practice squad, pay you like a, active player, kind of get you obligated. But right now you have 4 quarterbacks that are really good, and obviously Aaron Rodgers leading ahead. You got Will Howard and all these guys. It's Mason Rudolph is probably the guy that would actually probably need to go, in my opinion.
Why?
You've been there, done that, and ideally you'd like to think that you've seen enough growth just to make the initial statement that you have 4 that you believe in Will Howard and Drew Aller. You drafted Drew Aller for a reason. Mason Rudolph, who do you get rid of? Do you kind of, wink, wink, one of you guys going to go on injured reserve?
Mason Rudolph right now playing on a 2-year, $7.5 million contract. Looks like it is year 2 of that deal.
And it's okay, and that's great for somebody that needs to actually throw him into that backup quarterback pool.
Mm-hmm.
Will Howard young on the rookie deal. Drew Aller is just drafted, rookie deal. Aaron Rodgers not even overpaid.
Right.
You realistically can keep 4, or you could keep 4, but that's a lot of quarterbacks. That extra roster spot is huge.
Yeah. And you got the additional roster spot for your emergency backup quarterback on game day anyway.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're keeping up 2 of them. So spots by keeping 4. It'd be interesting if there's not a move for one of those 3 quarterbacks. Will Howard could probably be traded. Drew Aller is probably the most safest. They just drafted him. So it comes down to, do you believe in Mason Rudolph more than, in my opinion, than Will Howard?
Or can you get something for Kyle McCord, whether it's a 7th round pick or a flyer on some player, even cash considerations? Here's a team I might look at for Mason Rudolph, Jay. Green Bay. Jordan Love, they got Kyle McCord and Tyrod Taylor. in that room as well. I know Taylor's obviously been around. McCord just finished up his first year coming out of Ohio State and Syracuse, but Rudolph's at least started before in that system. I could see, Green Bay taking a chance on him and Pittsburgh rolling with the two young guys, but I also get Pittsburgh. Yeah, they've seen it before, but I think a lot of coaches.
Aaron Rodgers, I think you might want a veteran. I could see Will Howard going to Green Bay actually because Tyrod Taylor is a veteran, so you got your back covered there for Love. And if you really like Will Howard or thought that you could develop him in the draft process last year, that's why you get him to have him come in as your third quarterback because you got him covered on the active roster by the emergency quarterback status. So I think Will Howard, unfortunately, is probably caught. We talk about being recruited over. I would talk just also equated to being drafted over.
Yeah.
Now your circumstances over. Because the circumstances around it is Aaron Rodgers came back. You like Mason Rudolph. You got him on a cap-friendly deal. You were drafted last year, right? I think 7th round. And here you got Drew Aller. Will Howard could be on the move, but I also think if Will Howard's on the move, I think it's also a good thing. You're going to go to a place that they want you, right? And Drew Aller was drafted higher than you, 3rd round versus 7th round. But also the circumstances for you to move up to be, I'll just call it, all-time backup quarterback to Jordan Love if it goes to Green Bay are actually really good after this year.
You saw Jordan Love's backup just get paid.
Right. Well, sure. But Tyrod Taylor probably be gone. That moves you up. If you continue to develop and when you're on the look squad, head coach, you have a head coach that's an offensive-minded coach. He's going to watch how you're performing against their defense. He has to watch all the tape. Yeah. So if you're doing some really good things, he's like, oh, yeah. I got my backup quarterback. I got my franchise quarterback. I got my backup quarterback. All my time and resources can be devoted to developing my team to win the NFC North and go to the championship.
Thomas and Lincoln, appreciate your thoughts on the Panthers. We know you are our resident Panthers fan on the text line. Here's this, though, Jay. He asked the which kind of diarrhea do you want question. Would you rather be a Browns fan or a Jets fan? And he also wants to know who will have the better record. Let's do some schedule analysis here. Who do you want to start with? Aaron Glenn's Jets or the Todd Monken-led Cleveland Browns?
Man, let's get Cleveland out of my system.
All right. Cleveland out of the system. Get the Browns out of the system. That's good for us to do on the daily if you can, right? Eat your fiber, kids. Week 1 at Jacksonville.
L.
At week 2 at Tampa.
L.
Host Carolina.
Win.
Host Pittsburgh.
L.
Go to the Jets.
Poof. That's the toilet bowl game. Actually,
in week 5.
I think they're going to start 0-4. I'm going to take that back.
Okay.
I think Carolina goes up there and win.
So then
hold on.
At the Jets.
At the Jets. Todd Monken, Aaron Glenn. I'm going to go Jets. They got better receivers.
0-5. Host the Ravens.
L.
Travel to the Titans.
I'll just give them. No, they losing in there too.
Go to Pittsburgh.
L.
Go to New Orleans.
Is Shador playing by then?
Isn't? Yeah, probably. I'd guess.
Win.
Okay, that's 1-8 so far. Host Houston.
L.
Okay. So that is 1-9 through week 10. Week 11 is their bye before they host Vegas.
I'm going to say they're going to win that game.
Okay. Host Cincy.
L.
Host Atlanta.
I'm not a big fan of Michael Penix or anything, and I think Cleveland's defense is better. They don't have Myles Garrett, though.
In front of the dog pound.
Stefanski's coming back. Oh, and Shador's playing? Oh, Cleveland's winning.
Okay. That's 3. At the Giants.
L.
At the Ravens.
L.
And host the Colts in week 17.
Probably L.
Don't write off the Colts in that one. The Colts might be Colts. It should be an L. And then at the Bengals.
Yeah.
That's 3-14.
Yeah, they're picking number 1 again.
Okay.
Yeah, all the quarterbacks on the team are gone next year.
The flip side of things for Aaron Glenn and the Jets.
Here we go.
At the Titans.
Win.
Host the Packers.
L.
At the Lions.
L.
At the Bears.
L.
Host the Browns.
Win.
At the Patriots.
L.
Host the Dolphins.
Win.
Host the Raiders.
Win. They don't travel well.
At the Chiefs.
L.
Host the Bills.
L.
At the Chargers.
L.
At the Dolphins.
Sweep.
Do they at least win the bye week? Just kidding. It's a bye week. Host the Broncos, week 14.
L.
At the Cardinals.
Carson Beck will be in the game by then. I'm gonna say L. Or no, I'm gonna say win. Sorry.
Host the Patriots.
L.
Host the Vikings at the Bills.
L.
I think you got them to 4-13.
So then is it a coin flip?
No, we had Cleveland at 3.
Oh, that game is going to be crucial. That's the number 1 pick game already in October.
Week 5.
It's the toilet bowl. I've been in those games before. You play hard as hell.
Thomas and Lincoln says you're not going to say the Jets beat the Dolphins twice because of how much you hate the Dolphins, are you? The Dolphins are also very bad. Just look at that roster.
Yeah.
What roster?
Jake Sorensen isn't even believable. I just think they got rid of all their good players, and it's just a transition year for the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate the Dolphins.
Mailman says, dang it, Jay, go dog pound. If the Browns pick number 1, do they go quarterback again?
Yep.
Do they go quarterback again?
Yep.
We know Arch Manning looks good in orange.
In 2 or 3 years, they go quarterback again. Yep.
And in 2 or 3 years, do they go quarterback again after that?
Yep. They're going to always Cleveland's going to Cleveland. Or Cleveland will pick somebody number 1, trade down and get the quarterback they actually don't want, and then end up having a Brandon Weeding 2.0 and get rid of him in a couple of years.
And then finally they'll get Baker Mayfield 2.0 back and say, hey, sorry, but I get your shoulder surgery. You're out.
Yeah, but now we don't have any receivers for you again.
Whoops, our bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
You can throw to Jerry Jeudy, though.
You can throw it to him, doesn't mean he's going to catch it.
It's optional with him. The only receiver out there with bad hands. His hands on Madden are like 25.
Whoops. Go play DB, Jerry. We'll go to break. Continue the last half an hour of Old School right after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils. Hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
The crack of the bat, sizzling concessions. Yeah, that's the sound of summer at Haymarket Park. It's been that way for 25 seasons. And in this city, it's not a matter of if you'll catch a game, it's how many.
Safe.
That's because there's always something in play for Salt Dogs fans. From saluting our troops to Friday night fireworks, your local tradition plays on. Let's show summer how Lincoln celebrates 25 seasons. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by Bryant Air Conditioning, Electrical, Heating, and Plumbing. Mainly sunny skies this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 88. Southerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows dip down to about 73. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 96. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Carol Foster. Right now, 77.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, owner of A1 Automotive. At A1 Automotive, we believe every vehicle has a purpose, and every customer does too. That's why we focus on dependable repairs, honest recommendations, and exceptional speed in service. Our goal is simple: to help you travel confidently and safely wherever life takes you. A1 Automotive, driven by purpose, built on trust. You can visit us online, a1autolincoln.com, or visit us at either of our 3 locations, 5110 State Hill Drive, 1117 L Street here in Lincoln, and our newest location, 408 Main Street, Seward, Nebraska.
In every city, every town, there's a Husker fan. You show up, you stand out, no matter where the road takes you. And wherever Husker Nation goes, life doesn't slow down. That's why Emeritus makes dental and vision coverage simple. Quick quotes, affordable options, and nationwide access for fans everywhere. Choose the coverage that fits your journey. Emeritus, fulfilling life, fueled by Husker pride. Go to emeritus.com/Husker Dental for more information.
Fleet Feet in Lincoln reminds us to salute our emergency first responders, law enforcement, firefighters, and paramedics for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. These men and women are willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. First responders are the backbone of our country. They deserve our admiration, so thank them for everything they do for us. This message is from Fleet Feet here in Lincoln, proudly supporting our first responders and essential workers in the community.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Half an hour left on Old School, show brought to you by Graham Tire Company. We'll take your thoughts on all sorts of things going on around the landscape of sports. Do need to get into some eligibility news here, Jay. First and foremost, the breaking news-ish from Ross Dellinger, writing for Yahoo Sports, says the college football playoff is getting together to determine eligibility. He tweets, CFP executives are continuing discussion on implementing participation rules that would disqualify programs rostering certain athletes, including former pro football players. A meeting next week is expected to solidify a decision. And so the college football playoff now seems to think it needs to take a stance on these teams that would be rostering some former pro players. We've seen statements from the SEC, the Big Ten, the ACC, and we'll get into the Big 12 statement here in just a minute. I'm not sure exactly why the college football playoff would need to come out and make this stance unless they think it's a big enough issue that, hey, maybe these conferences are going to get sued. We'll have to allow these players, but we're outside of that jurisdiction, so we can keep them out if we want to.
Tip of the cap to them. They had a little bit of forward thinking. What could happen? Let's make sure our bases are covered. So just in case you guys get through the regular season, just in case, which probably will happen, you're not playing in the college football playoffs. I like it.
Worth a shot.
Well, it's months in advance. You're going off what you know and what you think could happen and the pattern of behavior, which is you'll be able to get injunctions or whatever they call them. So you're not playing in the college football playoffs. I just want to let you know. At
least you know in advance.
Yeah, I like it. And I talked about that, as far as like why people shouldn't be that mad, because they made those decisions to turn pro based on what they knew then and what they didn't know. Now, granted, you signed the contract, but you didn't sign the contract with all the facts in hand. Now, that both people can be right, or both sides can be right, both can be wrong. But I also said that, realistically, if, say, a player came back to Nebraska or Iowa or wherever, may be, how old he is and where, him getting a cup of tea in the NFL really shouldn't change the outlook of your season. Now it can add to it. It's not earth moving or earth shattering.
The game changers are still in the pros.
But I'm saying they're really just going to be playing at whatever school they're at for like 90 days.
Yeah.
Like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're gone.
Yeah.
If you only keep it, now you got to make sure your bases are covered. You only keep it for 2022. So 2021, guys can't come back yet. But 2022, you're able to do that. I just think, it's probably not morally what you want to do, so forth and so on. But realistically, you got your bases covered. and it's only 3 months. And there's a lot more important in things that have been going on or need to be fixed that have been going on in college football for longer than 3 months.
We got a statement from the Big 12, and this was a more sweeping, broad statement related to all sports. The Big 12 statement said, no member institution may roster an athlete who has at any time cleared for the draft or supplemental draft of a professional sports league and did not timely withdraw before the draft. 2, been listed on the roster of a professional sports league or signed a contract with any professional sports league to provide athletics services. And some corners of the internet were up in arms about that, Jay, because you look at Big 12 basketball in a lot of ways. Arizona just completed its international tour. They've got a bunch of international flavor. Ivan Karchinov, Mo Krivas, one of the better defenders in college basketball. Nebraska's very own Ugnias Drushabishis is on that roster as well. Tommy Lloyd has all sorts of foreign connections from his time at Gonzaga, and he's leveraged those at Arizona. The other way that this could have impacted teams would be in the Big Ten. You think about Brad Underwood and what he's doing at Illinois, right? Importing, whole countries, it seems, onto his roster, all the Vitches, et cetera. And so this rule, been listed on the roster of a professional sports league or signed a contract with any professional sports league to provide athletic services, seemed like it could have taken those teams out of the running for that talent. And according to Pete Thamel, it's a little bit different. He tweets, I was told that the NCAA rules still apply to the pre-enrollment space, so Arizona players, for example, would be fine. This only applies if a player entered college, then went to play pro ball overseas. They could not return to the Big 12. And I think that's a good distinction to draw just because of how different the setup is in Europe compared to the United States, where here in the USA, you're playing a lot. Yeah, sure, you have your club teams, and you're not supposed to get paid for those. I'm sure you'll get a little kickback. But it's the high school system. That's the developmental system. Whereas a lot of times overseas, you go to school alongside everything you're doing for this club. That's the athletic development system. It sounds funky to us over here in America, but the system's been that way for a while over there in Europe. And I think that's an important distinction that they're able to draw.
I like it because I think that also takes away the anger of people here trying to poke holes in if Brad Underwood is signing players or you're evaluating players. And it gives a look-see into how the NBA has really started to evaluate some of these European players as they came over. And, you always wonder, he played, for this club team and he averaged 4 points and 5 rebounds, but he's going into the lottery. And so I like it. I think the more that you can cover your bases and the more that you can get out in front of it, the more that you can, do the things that you need to do to make sure that you don't look like you have egg on your face. And I think that's what, I like it. I like the conferences. I like the college football playoffs before doing that as well. Really, all right, this is what's happened before. Injunctions are going to be here. They could get an injunction at a certain point in time before the season and not the case not be heard until maybe after the regular season. So we're just going to shut you guys down. I like it. Also, more information is key. Communication is obviously a huge part of that. And, not only do people need to do that when they're workplace, real life, but more importantly, when you're trying to distinct yourself in sports, you got to be very, very over communicative.
We can go to the NFL for this as well, because as all that is swirling and happening, the NFL had to address this as well, Jay. Here's an Adam Schefter tweet. Sources, the NFL will provide clarity to clubs later today regarding league rules governing player eligibility that have been in place and remain unaltered. A player that goes back to college this season will be prohibited from signing with an NFL team this year. So if you're, Jack Pyburn or Daquan Wright, the tight end, I believe it is, going back to likely LSU, and Isaiah Harris, I think the other one.
He has to be there by now, right?
You would think. But here's the other part of the explanation. Schefter says a player signed to an NFL contract who is subsequently cut is a free agent. He may sign with another NFL club, the CFL, or return to college, but that player is considered a free agent and will not be subject to a future draft. That's something I'm not sure these college guys factored in. If they signed their contract, the NFL rule is, hey, if you entered a draft, you can't enter another one. It's not like baseball where you can get drafted, go unsigned or not reach your demands, go to college, then enter the draft again. If you're in the NFL draft, the NFL is telling you, you are only eligible for one draft. Otherwise, you're a street free agent, and that's a whole different pool of competition.
Yeah, and you better be a bad boy to do that. But the good thing about it, if you come and somehow dominate, if you're able to play again, in this situation in college, you will get your money actually beforehand. Now they will make that path for you to becoming a highly compensated player, which is weird because if you're a good player and how you got there, heck, they drafted Eric Swan years ago in the first round out of semi-pro. Essentially, this right now, this college football model is how Eric Swan got drafted.
Yeah,
I think, like I said, I think the misinformation or lack of communication and information out there is hurting the game of college football. Obviously, it's hurting the passion from the fans or what the fans think about it. I think it's hurting the players because they're maybe making decisions that they might not know all the ins and outs of it. I think it's hurting the agents. I think it's hurting obviously the schools, the coaches. I think it's not working at its way that it should be or could be. And that's a small little detail right there because I didn't even know that, and I feel like I know.
You got the ins and outs pretty well down.
Yeah, pretty good. Because I was like, oh man, well, heck, I went up there, and say you're just a weekend tryout guy, that in the NFL, say you get cut, and say you were just a training camp guy that they brought in, need an arm or a tight end for a practice or two, then they ship you out. Now, are you really an NFL player? Not really. Sure, technically, but I don't like technicalities, right? Because I feel like you can get off on murder or technicality. Realistically, you killed somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That is not a very good analogy, but I'm just saying.
Your point is made. Yes.
So then, I was thinking like, okay, that's cool. You could, Lane Kiffin calls you up and get a couple $100,000 or whatever it is. At least you get guaranteed money and playing time. You get to go to a place. You get to continue to hone on your skills, and then you can go back in the draft. And I even said it on air. You can draft him again. Well, not so fast, my friend.
And that's what 4979 says. Yeah, I don't get it. If I had an NFL contract, I would pursue that dream and the opportunity to see if it worked out. But the whole point of going back to college is, I guess these agents and these players didn't understand the rule, how it was written. It wasn't clear. And so the whole reason was, hey, I thought I was ready to pursue the dream of playing in the NFL. Turns out I wasn't. The league told me, they're going to retire me or put me on the street pretty early. Why not go back to college, see if I can get better over that year with the information I have from training camp, improve my draft stock? Well, in the words of Lee Corso, not so fast.
Yeah, and unknown texter. I mean, look, you want to pursue it, but look, there's a lot of things. Listen, I think what people have a misconception of, and players do too, high school players, if you're listening while you're in class, hopefully.
We'll clip it and share it.
Parents is that everybody thinks playing at the highest level is it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You're the 1% of the 1% of the 1% that you just get a shot. To make it, you have to be even greater than that. To continue to strive and or survive and strive, you have to be a step up. That's when you're vested, you're double vested and all that. And then obviously that's why Randy Moss, Brady, and those guys have single names. Moss, Brady, Peyton or Manny and all that type of stuff. Well,
Marino, LT.
Sure, yeah. So you're talking about pursuing that. There's a lot of guys that are at home that actually should be playing. There's a thin line. We see these great workers out here in Lincoln. There's a thin line from if that's NFL out there playing from being there and being at home, like a thin line. And a lot of times it doesn't have to do with your skill sets. It's circumstances. It's financial ramifications of what they have invested in a certain position group. Do they have draft picks there? Are they have they put more time and resources into a certain player? I ain't saying nothing about sacks, tackles for loss. Ain't got nothing to do with that. So there might be, you could say it's easy to pursue that. That's not the case. Now, I will tell you where I agree with him in saying this: you can continue to pursue it longer and actually financially be compensated enough to where it's a realistic option. Because you can go to the UFL. You can possibly, if your position group if there's a need at position group, up to Canada. And you can find your way back to the NFL. Are you sure you can play indoor football and all that? Whereas like when I played, they didn't have any UFL, right? They had NFL Europe, but that dissolved. So they didn't have any UFL. And if you went to Canada, it was like unless you were like a DB or a pass rusher, it was a check on you like, all right, you're up in Canada. And the timing of the offseason and stuff generally didn't work out right. And in the case if you get cut, you want to keep pursuing it. Well, you're just working out. You're not bringing in any money. We didn't have NIL back then. You didn't have any rev share. Heck, our scholarship checks, we were below poverty. Ain't no doubt about it. We were going to school for free.
There's minimum wage, there's minimum wage, and then there's what Jay was making in college.
$158 to survive on the rest of the month, and you're not getting food provided for you in the off season, that's not a lot of money. And I'm not complaining. Obviously, it worked out well.
I can understand that complaint as opposed to the NBA guys that say you don't really know how far 20 million goes.
Yeah, they sound.
Anytime
I ever hear somebody say that, like Odell Beckham talking about 100, you sound like an idiot.
Yeah,
you sound like an idiot. And I was on here. I've said it on here the one time that so I signed my initial rookie contract. I played through my tender. I got my first contract with Houston. I was up for another one. I'll never forget. I had a friend of mine named Lloyd Parker that actually had unfortunately passed away a few years ago. At that time, he was working at Bank of America, and I was somewhat holding out or whatever, and negotiating or whatever. And I was talking to him about went out to lunch or whatever, and he was like, "You know what, man?" He's like, "I understand your business is the business." He's like, "But what you're haggling over, some people don't even make that in 2 years." You know what I'm saying? And so it brings some reality of like when they're saying these type of things, how fast 100 million can go, and it can. And generally, we can get into a whole nother podcast how it goes fast. It isn't somebody trying to sell you drink this water and you live for the rest of life. It's generally the people closest to you. That's who really gets them. We've seen this, right?
We hear about the horror stories for the bad investments, the schemes, the fraud.
And that's few and far between.
That's
right?
the point, because they make a big impact,
right? Because it's a Steve Klein thing or whatever, and you can't fault the player. This dude's a GM. If there's anybody else you could trust, it's him.
Ought to be him.
It should be trusted, right? He got you. It's actually not. There's only one person to fault. That's him. But the ones that really get you is the one that's close to you. So, like, for these guys to say these type of things, and the rest of America is out here, whether you want to look at inflation, just everyday life, it doesn't sit too well. That's where you come off, and people think you're entitled, spoiled, and unrealistic. And so that's why, again, we go back to the support system of these. I was going to say sports franchises, athletic departments. Are you really supporting these guys?
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you took a poll of 100 and I went in there and evaluated, I would say there's probably 95% definitely no.
Yeah.
Are you making the problem worse? Handing them a check, having a guy come talk to them that has no connection with them, and they don't see him again, and then you're allowing an 18 to 21, 22-year-old kid, 23 now, right?
Yeah.
At the maximum. You're trying to say that he can make the rational decision of one, picking an agent that's not certified.
That they've probably never met before.
Yeah, well, they've met him, but he's not certified.
Right.
So that he has. So if he takes something from him, there's nothing. Bye. Right. Right. And then they got to find a financial advisor. But then you encapsulate this whole team away from people that actually can help them, that have been through it, that don't really want anything for you. And and then you can say we're supporting it. No, you're not.
They just want to pay it forward.
No, you're not. That's why the dude from BYU said the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why they they're saying you're not supporting. You got to really support these guys. It's not what you're saying. It's the action. And what did we talk about when you're at school trying to make some impact? You need things that makes up for the financial differential that you have versus another school.
Yeah.
I'm off the pulpit now.
All right, we'll go to break. We'll wrap up Old School with your text from the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, owner of A1 Automotive. At A1 Automotive, we believe every vehicle has a purpose, and every customer does too. That's why we focus on dependable repairs, honest recommendations, and exceptional speed in service. Our goal is simple, to help you travel confidently and safely wherever life takes you. A1 Automotive, driven by purpose, built on trust. You can visit us online, a1autolincoln.com, or visit us at either of our 3 locations, 5110 State Hill Drive, 1117 L Street here in Lincoln, and our newest location, 408 Main Street, Seward, Nebraska.
In every city, every town, there's a Husker fan. You show up, you stand out no matter where the road takes you. And wherever Husker Nation goes, life doesn't slow down. That's why Emeritus makes dental and vision coverage simple. Quick quotes, affordable options, and nationwide access for fans everywhere. Choose the coverage that fits your journey. Emeritus, fulfilling life, fueled by Husker pride. Go to emeritus.com/Husker Dental for more information.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Football Saturdays are back, and the Lincoln Children's Museum has a game plan for your youngest fans. Game day playdates give kids ages 5 to 12 their own unforgettable game day, while you enjoy the action inside the stadium. Drop them off 90 minutes before kickoff and pick them up 1 hour after the game. New this year, purchase a season pass, buy 4 sessions, and receive your 5th free using code FOOTBALL. Space is limited and advanced registration is required. Visit LincolnChildren'sMuseum.org and reserve your spot today.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at 23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offer great pay, health, dental, and vision, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
You plan everything, the schedules, the meals, the activities. But at the Nebraska State Fair, you don't have to plan a thing. Baby animals, fair food, rides, free entertainment, and 11 days of memories your kids will never forget. You just have to show up. It all happens here at the Nebraska State Fair, August 28th through September 7th in Grand Island. Visit statefair.org.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Fleet Feet in Lincoln reminds us to salute our emergency first responders, law enforcement, firefighters, and paramedics for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. These men and women are willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. First responders are the backbone of our country. They deserve our admiration, so thank them for everything they do for us. This message is from Fleet Feet here in Lincoln, proudly supporting our first responders and essential workers in the community.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We will keep this quick here. Final few minutes of the show. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you on Old School, presented by Graham Tire Company. Let's head straight to our Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. Jay, you've mentioned this before, but 1508 wants a little bit more explanation on your Canadian Football League point. Would you have to pay double taxes for playing in Canada if you're an American?
You just pay taxes for the weeks that you're up there playing. So you would, I mean, you have to have a really good account, and you got to pay for taxes where, if you reside up there, and I don't know if they allow you to get, citizenship, you pay taxes for every week that you're up there. And then you pay what's called a jock tax of, like, say you go play, say you play for Toronto, you go play in Edmonton, you pay, I'm assuming, whatever time being for the, 1 day out of 7 weeks. They kind of just go and prorate it over that time. It sucks. California is the worst.
Right. Even if you visit California for a week, New York.
Actually, playing the Giants and the Jets are the worst. You get Yonkers tax on top of it.
New York State on top of New York City.
And then you got to go back, and if you're inactive, you can try to maybe go back and not get taxed because you didn't technically play, but since you were down there on the team. But if you're on the practice squad, you have to make sure your accountant doesn't allow the Yonkers tax to apply to you because you definitely did not get on the plane.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff goes into it. There's a lot of things that go into it as well, though.
Noah from Lincoln, this is probably a whole segment worth. We'll try to get the thoughts in quickly here. Jay, essentially he wants to know, could you see the United States ever moving toward the European model in terms of youth and high school sports?
Yeah, but I could see more, not all 50 states, but I could see more like individual states do that. It'd benefit a lot of states doing so. It'd keep the purity of high school sports, but then also let you try to go and be more competitive if a state needs it. If you had, a couple like smaller versions of IMG and the club and stuff like that around states like Nebraska. Iowa does it with their couple basketball academies up there. You have Sunrise Academy in Charlotte you never even thought was around.
Sunrise in Kansas too.
Yeah, so you got all that type of stuff, and it's beneficial to some. They call them prep schools, but you can kind of get them into full-on facilities.
I heard a clip from the Bill Simmons show where someone proposed to him the idea of just like picking a state at a federal level, saying, "Hey, X state, the only sport you can focus on is this," which I don't think would necessarily go over well, and I think would take a lot of the interest and variety out of it. But that's maybe more on like the Olympic sport level potentially. Yeah. Hey, you are our feeder system for X sport.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if you did it or did it that way.
And then last thing from Scott in Lincoln. Jay, do you care to give any details about your drives off the tee yesterday and who in the foursome was talking the most trash?
Jake was talking the most. He talked from hole 1 to 18.
Oh, he's got his 3 bodyguards there. Of course he would.
I don't know. It was some good, some bad. Fell asleep. I started out hot, fell asleep, then I woke back up.
Mid-game lull.
Yeah.
Didn't win the middle 12, but
no, we didn't, man. Man, we came out like gangbusters, man. And then we went to sleep a little bit and then finished strong though.
Did you put your money in your bag or did someone come snag it between segments?
Oh, it always goes in my pocket.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Quickly.
Good.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, always.
You earned that.
Yeah, I always take that closest to the pin on one.
And guess what? We're in more tonight. Southeast Millard West.
That's right.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what these Knights do, man.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk to you again from Seacrest Field around 6:45 tonight. That'll do it for Old School. Adam Kirker Show next on The Ticket. Big thanks to Graham Tire for their sponsorship of Old School. They've got their locations in Lincoln and across the Midwest. They've been in business for 75 years. Brakes, oil changes, more than just tires, car, light, truck repairs. Everything you need for your car is at Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. Talk to you again soon.
In every city, every town, there's a Husker fan. You show up, you stand out, no matter where the road takes you. And wherever Husker Nation goes, life doesn't slow down. That's why Emeritus makes dental and vision coverage simple. Quick quotes, affordable options, and nationwide access for fans everywhere. Choose the coverage that fits your journey. Emeritus, fulfilling life, fueled by Husker pride. Go to emeritus.com/Husker Dental for more information.
Play ball! Some places just feel like home. In Lincoln, that place is Haymarket Park. For 25 seasons, it's where we gather with friends, with family, and our out-of-towners who want that same warm welcome. It's where kids catch their first foul ball, where we're all neighbors for at least 9 innings. Because when Salt Dogs fans root for our home team, there isn't a single stranger in the stands. So come one, come all, and let your local tradition play on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Football Saturdays are back, and the Lincoln Children's Museum has a game plan for your youngest fans. Game day playdates give kids ages 5 to 12 their own unforgettable game day, while you enjoy the action inside the stadium. Drop them off 90 minutes before kickoff and pick them up 1 hour after the game. New this year, purchase a season pass, buy 4 sessions, and receive your 5th free using code FOOTBALL. Space is limited and advanced registration is required. Visit LincolnChildren'sMuseum.org and reserve your spot today.
You plan everything, the schedules, the meals, the activities. But at the Nebraska State Fair, you don't have to plan a thing. Baby animals, fair food, rides, free entertainment, and 11 days of memories your kids will never forget. You just have to show up. It all happens here at the Nebraska State Fair, August 28th through September 7th in Grand Island. Visit statefair.org.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by Bryant Air Conditioning, Electrical, Heating, and Plumbing. Mainly sunny skies this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 88. Southerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies. Tonight, lows dip down to about 73. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 96. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster. Currently 79.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln,